Sounds working.
Yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
Hello, everybody!
You know, it could be wrong, but Harry Potter is important.
His name is in the title. Maybe a bit strange if he's not in there.
I thought they smell funny, but not that I sniff my Lego.
You know, the voice where you can change the pitch of your voice. I went, oh yeah. When he's in the toilet.
It's definitely for kids and so on, or Nicole. But
I've done this much.
I think it needs water.
Oh.
you know, going from the Home Alone set to this is like being kicked in the nuts while standing on Lego bricks barefooted. You know, that's about it.
I built him. Partner's a bat ecologist, so he was like, I need to have all the bat stuff.
That's why your camera was upside down.
Yes.
No, it's just painful. But what's worse is the set was missing a wheel. So look, it's just got two front teeth there.
I thought you hadn't finished it.
You know, whenever anyone gets your Lego set now, it's going to be Technic.
That is amazing. That looks like an angel.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to this Family Bricks live stream number 46 in this season. I hope everyone's going well, and for those who are joining us for the first time, every Thursday night we sort of get together UK time, chat a little bit of Lego and catch up with some people and have a guest on occasionally and sort of see what they're up to. Usual social media things, hit share, like, subscribe, press buttons around here, always appreciate it. And as always, a shout out to the replay gang last week. It was Brian's Bricks and Trevor's videos. Appreciate it when people, if you can't catch it live, you come back and watch it. And if you want to shout out in the next one, just leave a comment down below. And like we just did then, we'll give that another shout out. And I've just had a look and I haven't actually set up a poll, so I'm going to have to do that at some stage. And with that too, we'll go across to just quickly give the sponsor a little bit of a plug. It helps pay for a few things like the streaming software and that.
This video is brought to you by McCatsim Holiday Homes in Margate and Broadstairs. Great for a week's holiday or a weekend escape, being just over an hour east of London, UK. Treat yourself to amazing sunsets, a Lego wall, or great food. Visit www.macatsim.com and mention this YouTube video and we'll look after you.
And with that too, just having a quick shout out to the people who've seen there so far in the chat. Mayo, good to see you in. Craig, Bricks Days Past, good to see you in. Jake Studs, good to see you around as well. And we had Lady McBrick saying hi. Madlib, Fooling with Bricks, and getting a Jake Studs here. No drum roll. Yeah, probably a slightly different channel, doing something a little bit different. And a shout out to One Brick Stud. And Maya sort of saying that, yep, Greg, not Matt. And I always forget the Redmond Bricks, I think it is, once you put all the vowels in there. Welcome along as well. And Bove Laveau, I finally, after all these time, found out why that you're on Twitch and not ever across on YouTube. So apparently there's an issue with you jumping across. So always appreciate you as one of the Twitch crowd out there. And I think with that, let's start bringing in some of our regulars and saying hello to everyone. I think we got most of the things there. So welcome along to Bricks, Briggaskew, Madlib, Brick, and One Brick Stud. Chris, how are we all going this evening?
All good, thank you.
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Can't see any Technic around me, so I'm all right.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that one day. So if we just leave that title for long enough, I'm sure we'll roll back around to Christmas or your birthday or some PhD celebration.
We'll club together for you.
Yeah.
Get you a nice decent side set.
Appreciate it.
And with that too, a big congratulations to Ollie last night, who had his first stream doing the on his channel Mockheads. Hopefully got that right. It was a really good stream, and yeah, it's one of those sorts of things that I remember, probably 6 months ago you're kind of nervous and didn't really know even coming on here, and now you're off, spreading your wings and doing that stuff. So it's great to see.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was really fun. Thank you all for watching and being in the chat. It was awesome just to geek out, really. Geek out. Well, it's always awesome to geek out about Lego here, but to geek out about mocking in particular and discussing particular parts, Lego pieces, and stuff, and people listening. Don't know how we got away with it.
Certainly seeing that that head floating across or the horse head, and it's sort of like, I don't know what to do. Godfather, horse head.
Yeah.
Want to get a bit graphic, that sort of comes straight out there. So with that, I think we'll just quickly, Jake Studs saying hi, Twitch gang, Brett's Builds, and even doing it over on Twitch. And shout out to JANGBRICKS. Welcome along. Always good to see. And getting some funky icons from Bove Laveau. And I think with that, just saying hi to a few other people there in the chat. And we'll bring in our guest for this evening, which we were talking just backstage a bit earlier. I think we started streaming together on London Calling, I think, end of 2020, I think. And just recently going back through as a podcast more and more, and you did some interviews there. And getting a bit of a different side, and always good to sort of have people in and add and find out what's happening with them. So welcome along to Jake Studs. How you going?
It's me. The chaos has arrived. Get ready for hot takes and opinions, everyone, because I'm full of them. How's everyone?
Going well. So how about you? What's happening in your life?
Thank you very much for inviting me on. I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. And with that, for anyone who doesn't know you want to do like the 30-second, what's Jake Studs all about?
Jake's my name. Studs my game. I am predominantly a Twitch streamer. You'll find me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jake Studs. And on also all other social media platforms where I like to be a bit of a idiot, and sometimes I even make like augmented reality filters and other kinds of Lego content. It's fun.
Yeah,
30 seconds.
Yeah, that's close enough. A good little summary and a good point to sort of jump off. Because I'd seen somewhat technically incompetent. As anyone who's watched this stream for a while, I've only sort of got some of the glitches out in, say, the last couple of months. Seen your Twitch augmented reality filter or TikTok or something pop up on, it may have even been the London AFOL's board. Can you just sort of walk us through what that's all about?
So TikTok has this, and Instagram have these amazing platforms where anyone can make filters for them. So, those like silly, like, which animal am I? Or, putting something on the face, or sort of gamifications. A lot of the ones on TikTok at the moment seem to be cars doing backflips. I don't quite understand that, but they do them. Anyone can make them. So being a Lego content creator, I decided I was going to make Lego ones because I don't see Lego ones. And recently I've been playing around with the idea of, I guess, I'm pitching it to people as hacking Lego sets because it makes me sound amazing cool. Makes me sound like that nerd who is in the TV shows when the chief of police stands behind and goes, enhance, and the person's doing that.
What a reference from that. So is that a Super Troopers reference by any chance?
I have no idea what that's from. Just pop culture in general, I guess. But so I made one recently for the Everyone is Awesome set, which is my first one, which I'm trying to get Matthew Ashton to to see and reply to it, because I'm trying to start beef with vice president of Lego design by saying he's just a slightly better looking version of me, which, you know, I think is facts.
Well, I don't hear anyone sort of arguing against it, so it must
Exactly.
be true.
Exactly. He is yet to make himself known to the situation. So, you know, if people can go out there and be like, "Oi, Matthew, look at this," you know, maybe we can settle that argument once and for all.
It's brilliant. And for us, technically challenged people, so when you have the filter, how do you actually load it onto your phone or use it, or how does that work?
Yeah, some of them are. So, do you mean like how do I put it onto the system, or do you mean how do you use a filter?
Well, first of all, how do we use it? So, if we
can go to my profile, and on my Instagram profile and on my TikTok profile, there is like a little wand or a little star sort of thing, and that's where all the filters live. And you click on it, click use filter. And most of them have some sort of like either obvious sign or instruction somewhere built into it. And yeah, some of them like you put on your face and it tells you like what Lego piece you are. Or I built one for this mock up here, which was my first mock I took to Bricktastic. And I built a filter on Instagram. So if you scan the mock on the filter, some Lego made like music notes and radio waves and like a little record player and a digital version of me pops up and some like music plays and things like that. And I build those things in Stud.io, and then I sort of play around and import them and export them and import them, and eventually they end up inside the filter system.
Okay. Oh, wow. So I suppose that's just on the user side of it. The actual technical development side, which you were sort of hinting at, then that must how long does that sort of take, and sort of playing around with that stuff?
I mean, it depends on the filter. Like some of them, like most of the work is probably in like the creation of the assets. So like which Lego part are you probably was one of my longer ones to take, because it has like 60 different images in the randomizer part of it, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's like you have to collect them all, you have to cut them all out, you have to make sure they're all in the same size and right size box, you have to make sure some of them don't look as, you know, gigantic and other ones look really tiny and things like that. And then like this one here probably took me from start to finish probably about 10 hours total, but a lot of that was again asset creation and then just like trial and error, because this one was built on Instagram because I couldn't get access to the TikTok one at the time because it was in a beta mode with restricted access, so I hadn't had access to that yet. And the Instagram's filter system for what they call target tracking. So that's what. So you upload an image, and that's what it's looking for. That's what it's scanning, is an image of the set. It's just not as good as the TikTok one. Like, it wants everything to be exactly what's in the image on Instagram, whereas on TikTok, the Everyone is Awesome set, it knows what that set is. It knows roughly where all the colors are. It knows the shape, and it can be like, this is an Everyone is Awesome set. This is what I'm looking for, and it will track that a lot better. Yeah, I built this one as well, which was an experiment on for TikTok, and this one was designed to be symmetrical, so it works not just on the back camera but on your front camera as well. So you can hold it to you, and a little Jake Studs appears floating in front of it in augmented reality.
Didn't know any of this existed. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a different kind of Lego content I don't see anyone else making. So it's kind of like a little niche I've fallen into. But I do all this stuff for work as well. So like it's just like an extension of that. I'm very lucky at work where I get to learn to do things like this and get paid for it, and then I implement it into other things I do as well.
You can bring it across, yeah, because I mean, certainly it sounds like some of the technical aspects of that would be, relatively involved. So if you
Oh yeah, my first filter took me like 4 or 5 days to make, and it was just a simple like, what thing are you? And it had like 3 options in it, and I needed to make it randomly select one of the 3, and it took me like 4 days to make because I couldn't figure it out.
That's always, having done a little bit of coding and stuff like that, that can always be the problem. It's like, I've got these ideas, and then it's usually by the time you try to implement them, or something is just slightly askew, or you forget that you start indexing from like 0 rather than 1, and you don't count properly, and all these dumb little things to trip you up. Brilliant. Okay.
The systems are pretty cool though, and I would recommend anyone just downloading them and trying them out, because they have a lot of templates which are incredibly versatile, and you can sort of like really make them your own. You can build on them, you can take things out of them, you can completely customize all the assets and things like that. And like everyone starts by using all the templates, and like most of the like most complex filters you'll see out on the internet start with a template, and then they're just built upon that.
And so is the filters, obviously we see them and things like that. What is, I guess, the incentive for people to try to do this? Do people end up having the paid filters, or they just try to do it to make their content more engaging, or what's...
Why do people use filters? I guess it's just first and foremost, it's a bit of laugh. It's content itself. I was part of the TikTok Accelerator program at I'll start that sentence again. I was recently part of a TikTok Accelerator program, which is one of the world first sort of initiatives to help people build upon already existing skills. And they gave us a little bit of a insight into the back door with some stats that they don't make super public, but I don't care about talking about them. One of them was 1 in 3 videos on TikTok has a filter, meaning that TikTok filters are content creating, trend setting tools. Yeah. Which is like a little bit of a weird thing to think about, but like, so I've had a couple of TikTok filters get like 200-300 people using it. My most viewed TikTok video with a filter is like 149,000 or something like that. So I guess people it's just they're narrative things. They're things you can tell a story with. They're things you can create a story around. They are games. They're interactive. You can get people playing around with them in a community sense as well. Like someone built. So the person who made the car backflipping one. Oh, thumbs up. Apparently, the one person who made the car backflip one, it obviously went viral because someone big used it, and then everyone was trying to outcompete each other for the points, so trying to get the most amount of points, etc. So they made a second one. They made a second version of it, released that, and it's now on number 59 or something stupid like that. They've made so many of them. But there are people out there who are now creating conspiracy theory style story narratives about these cars, and like which like how they're related to each other, and like the sinister undertakings behind it, and like this car murdered this motorbike, and now there's a boat involved. We know what happens when boats get involved. It's like suddenly there's like internal prejudice against these digital vehicles in a TikTok filter. Like it's its own ecosystem now. I'm expecting currency at some point.
It's taken on its own sort of life with all the the different things it builds upon it, and it's always fascinating to sort of see. Obviously, we live in a bit of a predominantly YouTube sort of ecosystem. Yes, we use Instagram a lot. We kind of dabble a little bit either in Twitch and then occasionally TikTok as well. So just seeing the different things that are out there and available in the tools, and sometimes, particularly with little kids, you start seeing what they get into. Or my kids, it's like I don't even understand half of this anymore. God, I'm old like my parents now. Like I need somebody 10, 20 years younger to explain it to me. Like
I've been wary of getting into TikTok as just another thing to have to learn, and even just to have on my phone as well. I'll stick with for the moment.
The pleasure of TikTok, though, is that you don't have to learn TikTok. TikTok learns you.
Okay. See, that scares me as a tech-based person.
It's fine. It's fine. What's China going to do with that kind of information? Jeez.
Exactly.
They just know that you're a nerd, and that's about it.
And with that, we might just quickly take a quick spin around and see what everyone's sort of working on tonight. So, Brick Askew, what are you sort of going to be building or mocking? Or
I haven't got a box for it, but I'm building a hidden side set. Graveyard on the hidden side.
God, there's a blast fast.
Yeah, got it recently. So, building that. Looking forward to seeing what it's like. It's the first hidden side thing that I built.
It's a shame the app closed down. The app was so much fun.
Yeah, the app closed, right? I thought, because I saw there was an app for it, but I'd heard it closed, so I'll never experience it, I guess.
Sad times.
That was quite a while ago, I think. I think it was like 2022, maybe? Yeah, no.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. I thought you now say 2018, 2024.
Why? That was 2 years ago now. Now you feel old, don't you?
That's the thing you're saying. I think it was only last year. No, we ticked over to 24, so it's like 2022. Yeah, okay.
If you say 2022, that was barely before the war.
And Madlib, what are we having a bit of a build with tonight?
Yeah, so I've just picked up this little Wakanda Forever set, the Namor's Throne, I think it's called.
Nice.
Yeah, it was on offer last Christmas, and I thought I'd get mostly I actually got it for the figs to add to the Avengers Tower. So when I finally do that, yeah. But I thought also the little throne room might be good if you're setting up a little water scene somewhere, So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, as I say, it was on offer. I think it was a good 30% off. So, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of those Black Panther ones over the times have had some pretty good deals on, and much the same. It's like, I'm not crazy about the set, but some actually really cool figures in there, and I'm not a figure person, so
yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, then, brilliant. And Jake Studs, is there anything you're sort of going to be building or working on, or just having good old chat?
I'm just here for a good time and a long time. That's what I'm here for. Don't you worry. I'll make sure none of you build a single thing this week. Distracting you with just insanity and hot takes where you'll just be wanting to flip tables.
The one thing I have noticed is your camera keeps doing like subtle zoom in and zoom outs.
Is it a Facebook camera? Is that one of the is it Facebook portal? Is that what it is?
No, it's just my iPhone. I use my iPhone.
Is it?
Yeah. Has a thing called Center Stage, which means I can get up and I can run over here.
Oh my god.
That's brilliant and scary at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this like an anti London Bridge bricks filter, so that if you run out, it's going to track you, so that Greg then can't sort of look at your background for too long because it's trying to figure out where you are.
Yeah. It's so Greg can't like comment on like my walls or my floor or something like that, or find my credit card detail that's like hidden behind my TV or something. I don't know.
Cool. Alrighty then, and one brick stud. What are we sort of looking at building this evening? Or having a bit of
Yeah, I'm building this one.
Cool set.
Yeah, I'm really buzzing for this set, and it's a set I've been wanting to get, but I just didn't really like the original retail price on it, so I was just waiting for it to drop down. Gutted about a month or two ago because I think Argos had it on sale, but Tesco's, they had it a little bit cheaper, and then I was on the fence a little bit, and then I went back the day after and bought it. It was £4 cheaper, even more. So got it for £30. It's great, and I'm really looking forward to building this because this will make you feel old, Or for me, Sonic was the very first game I played on the Sega Mega Drive 2. So Sonic is like the very first protagonist, and Dr. Eggman is the first villain I've ever come across in gaming. So and I spent like so many hours playing those games. It's really good to get them in Lego form. So yeah, that's what I'm building. Not a great start because there is some Technic pins involved, but
what's wrong with Technic? What is with the hate of Technic within the AFOL community?
I mean, look at that.
Well, I want to get into Technic. I want to see what it's like.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, it's all right. This bit's all right.
Yeah.
Is that launcher on upside down?
Pardon? Yeah, I'm not sure. It's fine by the looks of it. It's to basically shoot Sonic. I think Sonic goes in this little ball thing, and then you just fire Sonic. But I don't really play Lego like that. It's all display me. But
you don't play with your Lego. What?
Well, I say play with my Lego. I mean, I just display it really. The only time I don't really play it is probably rearranging the minifigures in the sets, really. But I'm not going to spend hours going and seeing Sonic go around.
You've never clearly bought a stunt set, have you? Because that's the best Lego theme that's ever existed.
Yeah, I think Sonic is where they're trying to recover the money from stunts, because a lot of the things out of it, you're starting to see the half pipes and things within the Sonic sets. Oh, cool. Yeah, so there's certainly Lego hit you in the nostalgia wallet there, so that's good for them.
Yeah, it did.
And even Bobo is commenting on the greatness that is the stunts and overpriced. And
Bobo knows.
So, and Lady McBrick, what are we sort of looking at building or doing this evening?
I'm into campervans and trucks at the moment, so I'm building the gift of purchase.
And you got the hot dog. What do they actually call this one?
Retro food truck.
Retro food truck.
Yeah.
It
looks a bit like a Volkswagen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. There's a camera van, doesn't it?
So, got that there. So.
It's a bit of a wordy name for it, though. I would have called it Greg. Or James.
Yeah.
James.
One of those ones.
Yeah.
TJ, I do want to buy some more Sonic sets now that I have the Shadow set. Knuckles next. I'm waiting for sales on the rest. Yeah, so that here in game. Went in a couple of days ago, and they did have some reductions on it. It's like, yeah, I want more of a reduction before it's. But
yeah, I'm a bit like that as well, because there's a game not too far away from me, and I'm thinking, do I want to buy it? Because I'm like you, I think it can drop down even more. But especially when it's the Knuckles mech, because Knuckles is actually my favorite character in the Sonic universe. So, but game's got some really great deals and sets that have just come out.
Yeah,
if they're already doing a discount now, probably they can go cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're only just out in the discount. It means it's a dead theme. They're never going to make anything ever again.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it works?
Well, they
They
keep
don't have
doing
much faith in it, do
Potter
they?
stuff, but it still keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Or does it mean that game's on its way out?
I think game
it's
is.
more likely game.
I've never, because I've always popped in occasionally to game, and I've never in about 3 or 4 years seen any Lego on sale there, and it's just all sets discounted, even the roses as well.
Yeah, stuff that's
Yes.
just up. Apparently, the roses are £36 in Costco already.
Or is it?
Wow.
Yeah. Fairly
Is that
Costco.
without VAT though?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably is, isn't it? Yeah.
You have to be careful with those Costco badges.
Yeah, okay.
Always look at the small number.
Yeah.
Just to get you in, but yeah, because that was like the first time I've been in game and like ever, and the thing which really surprised me was the amount of non-game, like video game stuff that was in there, because they had Lego, they had some kind of Star Wars figures, they had some Black Series, they had some He-Man stuff, like kind of trying to figure out, okay, the video games might be going online and things like that, and we've got some floor space. What are we going to do here?
I went on.
Go on. Sorry.
I went one the other day, and I was just looking for pre-owned games. They didn't even have pre-owned games in game. And yeah, like at least half the shop was toys and stuff. Yeah, a bit mad.
They're kind of going for the old HMV method, aren't they? You know, when they were too late to go to online music, so they panicked and were just like, "You can buy T-shirts, and you can buy a kitchen, and you can buy I don't. It's do you like this? We'll sell you this. I don't know what it is. We'll sell you it. Yeah, sure. It
and then they breathed a massive sigh of relief when vinyl took off again.
Well, it had to go relevant 2 times before that happened, didn't it? So
yeah. Cool. All right. Well, something which sort of saw during the week and sort of showed it to some of the guys here as well. I don't know where this has come from because I've never seen it from an official Lego source. So we take it with a grain of salt or a bucket of salt. But I thought it could still be an interesting sort of discussion point. Is particularly on the left column here, the bit in green there, it starts talking about fan media stats. So this, I believe, is going to be the YouTubers or the registered fan Lego media people. So it came out, and it seems to be that with their content that they get given free sets for. Apparently there's 6,329 sets that were provided. They generated 32.8 years worth of content for over 15 million likes. And what is that? Just shy of 300,000 comments. So I thought this is interesting because if this is legitimate, I've never seen these sorts of stats. I mean, occasionally we'll see, end of year reports where they come back and talk about different, their top 5 themes and a few high level things. I mean, we don't see a lot of some of these numbers because they're a private company, so they don't have, reporting like a lot of the other stock market listed companies. But I just thought the other interesting thing, I mean, in general, what were people thinking about when you sort of saw this? Any sort of initial reactions to it?
I guess they think their marketing's working. Yeah. So, yeah, because I imagine that's kind of the point of it, isn't it? To kind of point out how their RFLMs or the LAN members exactly are doing and how they're performing this year. Because we seem to have had a lot of LAN members this year as well. I think we got more than ever. So, yeah, obviously it must be a report about how much screen time and stuff their product is getting based on the feedback and stuff from their LANs.
To really make it a full picture, it would be beneficial to know how many content creators are there in general. How many do already provide content without giving the sets being given to them? And how much quality went into it, because there are Instagram accounts who are just buying stuff and they just take pictures. Then there are those who really film it and do it on a semi-professional level. And then there are these content creators who do not get the provided set, but they are really, really, really professional.
Yeah.
It's just a tiny picture that we see.
It's in the Lego media is, it's brilliant idea on the part of Lego, because they can provide sets and sort of break down some numbers, even if we don't. Again, a lot of these are guesses, so this is going into the middle in the red there. Let's just say your average set costs $100 from Lego. It gets to the retailer, again, assuming 100% markup, so which is pretty standard for retail. So we're talking about, if we're looking at an average set costing £200, or taking the average, some are higher, some are lower, depending upon how much you sell. If it is correct there, and they've provided 6,300, just rounded up, 6,400 sets, $100 each, that's 640,000. And then there's going to be some overhead in terms of, posting them out to people, having some staff members there coordinating it and everything like that. Even if you just said that was 360,000. So to provide that is, let's just say, $1 million. Then going on their numbers that's been provided here, if you got 32.8 years, 365 days by 24 hours by 60 minutes, it gives you, a tad over 17 million minutes. And if you take that million it costs them, it then works out to 5.8 cents per minute of watch time. And if you go to the other extreme, if you have the Super Bowl ad, which is one of the most expensive slots you could possibly buy for advertising, just the slot itself is usually about 14 million per 60 seconds, up to that. So, okay, you're going from one end to the rest. And that's just the slot that's just to get that airtime. It doesn't involve then the actual production costs on that. So, okay, yes, it is the extreme there. But it kind of gives you, two extremes there. It's sort of like, one's costing you about 5 cents or 6 cents per minute, whereas it can be ridiculous amounts. So, and I think it's something which I've always been a little bit surprised, and I think Jake did a video on this a while ago with about LAN and things like that. And if you are getting sponsored, you're meant to be tagging it and making it very obvious that you are part of it. And there's some people's content I've been looking at for quite some time, and it's only until later on it's sort of like, oh, they're actually part of LAN, but they've never actually ever said anything, and I'm not really sure what I've been watching, because you can start figuring it out because they're getting stuff early. And it's not because it's a Walmart deal or something like that. It's like, no, they're actually starting to get provided with it. So
they're meant to be really upfront with it, right? I think meant to say right at the beginning. Like,
that's going to say
paid promotional.
Don't they have to say, like, every LAN review that I've watched? Don't they always thank LAN before they get going?
That is why, because the legal requirement is that you have to disclose that it was a provided set. So anything that is sent to you for free, sent to you, not even sent to you for, if it was just sent to you by a company and you make content with it, you have to disclose if that content was sent to you for free, whether or not it's part of a sponsorship deal or anything. That is considered by UK and US advertising standards agencies to be sponsored content.
Okay.
A lot of ambassadors do not do this. A lot of very good ambassadors do it. There is a middle ground where they do some and they don't. But this slide that has miraculously appeared out of nowhere, I am not 100% convinced this is a published stat. I see slides like this all the time at my work. So my day job is in marketing. And this is a very particularly worded and very particularly drawn out stats to tell a certain story. I think this is a internal slide which is talking between departments, or even internally within just the ambassador network itself. This isn't published anywhere on the LAN. This isn't published anywhere by Lego Group in any of their press or anything like that. I'm also skeptical of the number of total fan media being there of 99, which seems very low to me for the year of 2023, of there being just 99 recognized Lego fan media within the ambassador network. Because LAN doesn't just encompass just the RFLMs, it involves the RLUGs and the recognized online Lego groups as well. And
yeah, but I think some of those, if they're just looking at the fan media sort of stuff, so here we're providing to a review, or whatever it is you do with it. If you took the lugs out of that, because I think that's a whole separate kettle of fish.
Oh yeah.
It would kind of start making sense if you had 100, 6,400 sets each. You're getting about 100, some less, some more.
I still think 99 people in the 99 creators or creator groups or whatever in the recognized Lego fan media section. That includes all the blogs and whatnot as well. I think is hitting a low, very very low number. I'm not 100% sure that number is accurate, but it's really hard to make out on this a lot of the fine print, which is where a lot of the actual information is in the stats, the 32.8 years of fan media videos watched is a very specific stat struck from YouTube. And when they grab that stat, when they're reporting on that, RFLMs don't have to report on every single piece of content they make. They will only be reporting on the ones that are their review videos that they have So it's not like these 32.8 million whatever years seems like quite a low number for 100 creators, but they're not putting in those numbers as it's there's so
much missing context,
so much missing to it.
Because that's where I think where it was interesting that Ryan, if we now look on the third column there, he actually commented on this video. Again, we take everything with a grain of salt, but if they've come up with 32.8 years and he's saying his channel does 474 years, I think again that goes to what you're saying. Ryan might be talking about his whole channel versus if we have one of the registered fan media, they might do a vlog, a haul, or this or that, a sponsored video, and it's only just that sponsored video number. But it's I'm very much in the flavor that you were sort of saying, Jake. This seems to be something internal which shouldn't have come out, but somehow has. And because I've never seen these sorts of reported numbers before. As I sort of said before, we've seen the top sets and blah blah blah. So, but it's then interesting if, you know, Ryan was at one stage part of the RFLM, and, you know, as just a content creator who does, you know, Lego, if he's doing that many more hours, it's always just interesting sort of seeing some of these. And
how many of those 480 hours would be relevant to that slide, depending on whatever context?
Well, none of it
Sure.
would be last year because he wasn't in the RFL.
Yeah, sorry. Say he wasn't LAN. How much?
So maybe that'd be the more interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he got kicked out because, well, we all know why. I mean, I actually went through his channel earlier because I found that his very interesting watch, because also he's on about watch time there as well. He's not on about views or anything like that. This is how many collective hours his viewers have watched.
Yeah, could be one person.
Which is, it's a retention number. And like, I worked it out, like across his videos last year, the average person watched about 4 minutes of a video. His videos normally go between sort of like 5 and 30 minutes. So people are watching the short ones. They aren't watching the long ones normally, on average. He made 177 videos last year, which is, you know, what's that, like more than 2 weeks, like 2.5 a week, something like that, roughly.
Yeah, it's like one every day. No, every other day, every 3 days.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
So his, and that's not even including like whatever like live streams he did, which live streams horrendously inflate your watch time number, because if you've got 20 people watching for 3 hours, that's not 3 hours being added. That's 20 times 3, which now is another 60 hours of watch time.
Yeah. But at the same time, you've got to be interesting for 3 hours or whatever it is.
Whoa! What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I'm saying I know when my pumpkin hour is for this channel. Put it that way. So
says a lot about YouTube content, then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where over the years I've sort of got, you know, the 3 prongs. You've got your long form content, which is what YouTube really started off with. You've got the live streaming aspect, and then you've got your short form content.
Oh yeah, I didn't even consider short form content. I didn't even look if he was putting up shorts, of which he probably is, and if he's smart enough, which unfortunately he is, he's probably putting videos up averaging about 45 seconds. Which, you know, someone watches that 4 or 5 times to actually like figure out what was in the video, because it's not a long time. That's a lot of time suddenly being added. And YouTube at the moment is pushing horrendously their short form content because they're trying to compete with the latest fad, which is short form content.
Short form content. But yeah, I've seen something about a month ago, which was really sort of saying how that's actually starting to cannibalize the whole video watching itself in terms of marketing spend and things. Because I mean, anyone here is, you know, if you're watching shorts or reels or TikTok or whatever one it is, and you start seeing an ad, it's like almost instant flick onto the next one or swipe sideways or whatever. And they're starting to find, you know, eyeballs are obviously drifting from the long form onto the short form. And even reels on Instagram, they were sort of looking at that, and obviously they stopped paying their creators to do it, because what they're finding is that people are watching the reels where there's no advertising spend, whereas if you're on your normal feed of, you know, seeing different stories and videos, you're actually seeing some adverts in between. And interestingly enough, you know, TikTok is now allowing for the longer form content to come on. So it's almost like, well, they're starting to come across into the YouTube backyard of.
Do you want to know why TikTok's doing that, though?
Hit me.
YouTube is the most watched platform by Gen Z and under around the world. YouTube content is still king. TikTok may be the popular app. Short form content may be fantastic and incredibly digestible, people still watch long form content.
Yeah.
And they're watching more and more now on their TV.
Yeah,
that's an
I've
interesting
been doing
one.
that. Yeah.
And that was the other interesting thing, is that TikTok is now starting to, or they're saying they're going the horizontal content. If you put horizontal content on, TikTok is really going to promote that, because they want people watching TikTok on their TV.
Yeah.
So
Just wait till the Apple Vision Pro comes out, and then everyone will start making augmented reality X, Y, and Z for people to watch content on.
Yeah.
For only the people who have Apple devices.
Mm-hmm.
And however many thousands to spare.
Yeah.
Well, the iPhone 15s now can make content already designed for the Apple Vision Pro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is a little switch in your settings. You can turn it on, and you can start making augmented reality 3D content, which, when the headset comes out, will be ready to view straight away.
Fair play. So they're going to push it quite hard then.
Of course they are.
It's Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're betting so big on this. They brought Disney in. Did any of
Did
you
they?
watch the announcement?
No, I haven't watched any of it. I haven't checked off
Tim
my
Cook
tech.
sort of strolled in and said, "We've got one more thing," and then sort of went, "It's a headset. Oh, by the way, here's Bob Iger to tell you why he thinks we're amazing."
The timing on that might not be the best at the moment. So,
Oh, this was like last year. It's fine.
Oh, okay,
And everyone loved Bob Iger then, and then the strike happened, and then everyone was like, "Oh wait, he's a bit of a prick."
yeah. Well, I think the Disney films last year cumulatively lost something like $2 billion on or something crazy, some silly number. So
That's pennies to them.
Well, now it's starting to flow back upstream, because it's starting to hit all their merchandising and the merchandising partners. So
Good. Good. It means Bob Iger might have to take a pay cut.
What, from 300 million options is down to 250?
Yeah.
Something crazy like that. So, so I just wanted to double check. I think we covered off most of the things on that slide now. So yeah, again, don't know how real that is or what the context, and yeah, can't read the small print, which is a bit disappointed with. But
I think that's been purposefully made by the person who put it up to be purposefully blurry for the sakes of rage baiting, poking content.
Yeah.
It feels very much like it's been put up there to make people think the LAN is not necessarily doing as good as they are doing, or the LAN's wasting X amount of money on whatever, and it's that they're not. It's influencer marketing. It works. It works better than anything else.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's no evil behind it. And they're incredibly transparent, the LAN. I mean, like today, I watched their town hall, which is just it's on their LAN website. You can go to it, lan.lego.com, log in, go to their blog, and you can watch their latest town hall with all the LAN members, all the RFLMs, all talking, internal stuff. You can watch it. It's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, the bias behind that post is so blatantly obvious. All of that is just numbers. There's completely, it might as well be plucked out of the air.
Yeah, 100%.
And just having a few people in there, Minifig, who I think saying hi to Minifig, who, and Bungie also saying hi. Hope that you're going well, and I can't remember if I said Happy New Year to you, but if I didn't, there it is.
Happy New Year, everyone! I haven't said Happy New Year. Yeah. Happy New Year, everyone! January 11th. Happy New Year.
I was sort of last stream and the first one back in the new year, trying to hit everyone. And then how long do you?
It's your first stream back of the year, and you brought me on. Oh.
No, last week.
It's going bad, is it?
No, you got to start the year off with a bang. I think, one of the things which we sort of, with a few of the people that we hear, obviously being New Year's and talking about sort of, directions of the channels and things like that for the year or what you'd like to do. I think we covered off a few people, but Jake, what's sort of your sort of plan for this year with what you're doing and your content?
That is a fantastic question. I don't do like New Year's resolutions or anything like that. I go by a philosophy of yearly themes, which is, I don't think it was made up by him, but it was definitely popularized by him. There's a YouTube content creator called CGP Grey who is fantastic. He's a education entertainment YouTuber, and he does this. He does a yearly theme, and it's the idea of New Year's resolutions are, win-lose scenarios. You could be like, this year I'm going to lose weight, and then you get hungover January 1st and you don't go to the gym because the gym's closed. So you've already lost by the moment it strikes like 12, which is not good. So yearly themes are what I do, and it's sort of just like having a general mindset of like working towards the idea of something. So last year was the year of new for me. It was, trying new things, new experiences, all that sort of stuff. I did my first Lego show. I built my first mock. I went to some countries I've never been to. All that sort of thing. Very successful year of new. This year is the year of, what did I call it? The year of advancement. The year of adventures into advancement, which is a very wordy title.
You work in marketing, don't you?
The adventures of advancement. So this year it's just about sort of doing what I'm doing, but finding new ways to build upon that and to develop and strengthen existing skills, but also bring them up to move forward. And that's professionally, in my personal life, all sorts of things. So one of those was starting this sort of new-ish TikTok series where I start hacking Lego sets with augmented reality filters. I think people should be experimenting with things like that and that kind of content, because we're all going to be wearing headsets in the next 5 years. We're all going to be talking to each other in the metaverse. We've got to start, interacting. We've got to start putting Lego stuff in there.
I've always found those headset sort of things interesting, because played with some of them, things like that, and I do find some of them after about 5 minutes you start getting headaches and all sorts of things. And we've had lots of, it's almost like we developed video games and in the 70s, 80s more or less, and it hasn't changed too much from that. Okay, we've added a few more buttons, but you look at some of the stuff which connects for the Xbox in terms of the motion stuff. That was a fad for a bit. Okay, you had the Wii motion controllers for a bit. There's that. You've had different flavors of virtual reality, which at the moment they seem to be sticking a lot better than some of the previous ones. But there almost just seems to be something to go, let's just sit there with a basic controller or keyboard or something, and this other stuff, maybe it works.
There's a determination by the tech industry to get these headsets on us. I heard an interesting take on it, though, that every sci-fi or film where the whole world is wearing these headsets is all almost post-apocalyptic, dystopian, right? Yeah, it's not a utopia at all. So why are we as a
because we're already in the dystopia, we might as well have shiny things with it.
yeah. Might as well have nice adverts with it too.
Yeah.
But I do. It's not going away in the near future. And smartphones, they took off 5 years ago, even maybe 10 years ago. Wouldn't have thought how much they would have changed the world.
Yeah.
15 years ago, you were being told they were going to make you impotent if you kept them in your pocket for too long.
Very, very true. Yeah, like wasn't it like also like having Wi-Fi on in the house? If you keep it on during night, it would give you brain cancer. Definitely at night though, because otherwise it
because the sun UV rays help to diffuse the cancer rays coming from your router.
Yeah, or a salt lamp or something like that to ionize the air.
Yeah.
Sorry, I sort of jumped in there with you. You were talking about your new year of
adventures into advancement. Yeah, so that's just what I'm doing. That's I don't do sort of yearly New Year's resolutions or anything. I'm just plodding along and trying to expand my world, which I already have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, just trying to think. Madlib, were you on the panel last week?
No, I wasn't available last week. No. But,
okay. So, just in terms of what you might be sort of looking to sort of do with the channel this year, or if you're Jake Studs, what's your yearly theme of something or other?
I highly recommend the yearly theme. It's fantastic.
Well, I'm also someone who doesn't do resolutions, so I just
I'm 2 for 2 now.
Yeah, I generally kind of just try to live by a general theme. Yeah, a life motto of just be good and do good to others, and stuff. And but this year for myself, in kind of with my channel and stuff, I'm just going to carry on learning and exploring, basically. I am planning to... I've started setting up... I've obviously joined the TikTok group just this week. And then, I've...
Welcome to hell.
Yeah, and I've just... been setting up my Twitch account as well, so maybe start if I'm going to
join the dark side. Do Madeline, hell yeah!
If I'm going to stream, I might try the whole multi-stream thing, and see how that goes. So, it's just basically I always like to learn. So as long as I can learn stuff every year and expand my knowledge on things, I'm happy doing that. So it's definitely every year. I always think every year is a school year, so you always learn. And if you're not learning, you're in the ground. That's it. So,
you're sort of going backwards and probably going to accelerate going backwards. So no, that's brilliant. Yeah, certainly try to approach things and try to always be learning new stuff. And even the grey hairs slow down the memory retention a little bit. But Brickskew, I think you were on last week. Did you want to go over it? Quite happy not to.
It changes all the time. I don't normally do resolutions, but this year does feel a bit different, or at least maybe I've just waited until after Christmas, because one of my big things is I've got to start looking after myself. So wait until we get Christmas eating out of the way, and then I actually focus on health. But in terms of content is more like Lego, I guess. Just figuring things out and I've started getting into like reels a bit more, and obviously got the stream, just getting involved with things a bit more. And figuring out my style in mocking. I think that's what I was saying last week. I had a bit of a mental block lately, and want to get over that and like I say, figure out my style.
Do that. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've found, at least on the art side, when having a bit of a block and things like that, it's usually just you trick yourself into it. So like, okay, just turn up for 5 minutes, and if you're not feeling it after 5 minutes, and you can walk away from it. And usually after you do something for 5 minutes, you get over that initial inertia and keep doing it. And sort of
that's it. I think part of the idea with doing a stream about mocking is to help. Well, I mean, I wanted to do that for a while anyway, but I think it's going to help just inspire me a bit and influence me, like learning off of other people and getting tips off of people. So
Yeah.
It'd be awkward if you weren't mocking and you're doing a whole series.
yeah, just resting on what I've done in the past.
That'd be like doing a show called London Bridge Bricks, not from London Bridge. Like,
I haven't stopped entirely. Anyway.
So yeah, it's kind of funny when people give him, him a bit of stick about that in terms of, if you had your city and your city updates and and then you get the other extreme where you get tech embracing it, and it's like, doing his little reel, it's, I'm bad for not finishing things, and it's like, so by the end of this year, and then there's some things in there which, when he showed us, like, that's right, I remember it. Like when you first started mockumentary, you were doing that cinema. Like, what happened to that? So, but no, it's just Tech put it out there, so he brought it out. So, and I think some people know that if I get onto something, I don't let go of it easily. So. Cool. So along to speaking of which, One Brick Stud and his resolution to do more Technic this year. What's
to that? No chance. No.
What's with the Technic hate? What did Technic do to you to make you hurt so much? Where did it touch you? Can you show us on the doll?
Put the link in the comments to see the video.
Just don't enjoy it. I appreciate what it can do, as long as it leads to something interesting. If you're just building Technic and then you're building more Technic and then more Technic and then you come with this overall design which looks overly Technic-y, I can't do it. If it leads to, because it's important, because it can sometimes be the skeleton of certain sets, like Hogwarts, the giant Hogwarts Express. That's fine, because then it's helping. It's helping to create something brilliant, and helps to create sets that's more stable. But it's not always the case. I mean, Gringotts over there, that's the underground. That's got scarcely any Technic. It's all clutch power, but I just hate Technic. There we are. But
the horrible segue. Things that you're sort of looking to do this year with your social media and that. I know you're pretty stacked with your PhD and those sorts of things.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to news resolutions, I'm a bit like everybody. I don't have exclusive news resolutions. I don't come at the end of December and think, right, what's my targets for the year? I think I go as far as just taking a bit of stock, just thinking, we've got a year ahead. What do I want to do? And so on. But for me, it's just how to become a better person overall. What can I do? How can I be a better husband to my wife? She's my number one priority, and so on. What can I do more for my family? And I've got like my PhD and so on. I've got like my academic targets and so on. But I don't really go heavy on, this is going to be the year I do this. No, I just see how the year plays out, because we don't know how our years are going to play out and so on. So it's all about working around what the year throws at you. And then, that's pretty much it. I mean, in regards to like Lego and so on, what I'm doing now is good enough for now. I guess last year, it was a bit of a news resolution in the sense that I actually wanted to appear on live streams. I had no intent on creating a channel. I wanted to just be part of this community, and I feel like I've made it, and appearing on obviously this stream, and then I'm a co-host on Fab Blondie's stream, and I've been on a couple of other streams like Good Morning Brickworld. That's good enough for now, because it's like I remember when I was on Good Morning Brickworld in January, that was a scary 30 minutes. I found it terrifying. That was the first time I've ever been on a live stream, and I went like several months without actually appearing on it, and on YouTube or anything. And then obviously you touched base with me, Matt, and then you brought me on to Family Bricks, and then I'm enjoying it really, and I only appeared, what was it, August? It wasn't too long ago, so that's a massive step. I think just moving forward, it's just to continue doing this because it's good enough for now. It works around my really busy schedule and so on, and it prompts me to build Lego because my wife is always letting me know, you could build a little bit Lego. You haven't built Lego for a number of weeks and so on. You're focusing far too much on your research and so on. And so this is a really good nudge to build Lego. And I couldn't possibly build Lego in a greater way, building Lego with you guys. There is times I like to build Lego on my own, but it's just great to build it with you guys. It really is. And I'm enjoying it. So, yeah. Sorry for the rant there, but
no.
I say what? That's it. That's it for now, really. I'm not a social media icon. I'm not breaking the internet by taking the odd picture on Instagram, but that's it's good enough for now. But yeah,
brilliant. Yeah, no, it's similar sort of thing as I think with Ollie. It's you're somewhat not so much intrepid when you first came on, but you're sort of like, well, I'm not really whatever. Then when you start branching sideways and doing the stuff with Fab Blondie and a few of the other bits and pieces, it's great to see.
Absolutely, yeah, and it works. It was a perfect fit. Like Fab Blondie's stream was a perfect fit because we like similar areas of Lego. She's a Harry Potter nut like I am, and so on. So it just seems like a perfect fit and so on. And yeah, it's good. Enjoying it, and yeah.
You sort of after you get the with the Harry Potter stick, you probably need to go back to someone who's like actually embrace this with open arms.
Yeah, I mean it's therapy really. Fab Blondie stream, it really is. I need to speak with people who know Lego, who love Lego, and so on. But yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, then, brilliant. And Nicole, I know you sort of on last week, but anything you want to sort of just either refresh us or any other things you thought for this year that you might want to do with your channel and your socials?
Socials maybe, because this year I'm going to do something I've never done before, and I hope it's only the beginning. So everyone, guys, be scared.
I already am of you. How much more do I need to be scared?
I'm coming for you. Because
much more.
I'm going to Chicago first, and after that I branch out, coming to the UK, maybe Break Fantastic. I don't know. When you leave,
come to Steam. When's
yeah,
Steam?
I
Okay,
will be standing behind you.
Yeah.
I was going to whisper in Matt's ear, creep up on him from behind Steam and whisper, "I found you." But yeah, I wasn't sure if it was him or not, so I didn't want to do it to a complete stranger.
Yeah, but
probably a
that's
good
my
thing
goal for the future. Starting this year and then continuing, and because I've never met anyone in person, we are always a safe distance on the other side of the street.
That's for our safety, not your safety.
Now that you mention it,
International legal requirement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. No, that's. I mean, if you're going from, it seems like 0 to 100, it's like, okay, I've never met anyone. Brick World Chicago is where I'm going to start. It's like, okay, well,
yeah, you're going to meet a lot of people there.
So no, but that's brilliant, and I'm sort of a bit the same this year. Got a fair bit of travel. Last year we sort of got limited with a few other bits and pieces, so it's going to be playing a bit of catch up. But then that sort of starts filling in your calendar and allocating your budget accordingly. So, but that's brilliant. Yeah, because I think at least do you know sort of you playing around with tentatively any dates that you'll be in the UK or what's?
I'm not really sure. I know that there is an event at the beginning of March, the first couple of days of March, right?
I think the big one's at the end of February, if that's Bricktastic in
February half
Manchester.
Yeah, either end of February, beginning of March. Yeah, I was
I'm gonna be
tempted.
washing my
to-
hair those days. Oh, what a shame.
Safely on the other side of the street.
Yeah, in a different country.
Oh, go to France. My French is bad, so I think France might
Right, my
be.
German's worse.
Oh.
Is that this year you're going to come over? As in, like, in what, like a few weeks?
I was tempted, but God, and it will be a tight call. I only have a few days off, and yeah, it's you probably are 1 year more safe from me. I will go to Chicago, and then I go in autumn to Washington. So probably UK will be. I grant you 1 year of safety.
I'll start building my bunker now.
Get the preparations ready.
Yeah.
Do the Lego bunker and everything. And yeah, as Simon's saying there, no. Yes, definitely come in March once we've all gone home. So, and I think Mayo, they were saying, let me address something you all discussed. Okay, then.
Okay. We're all being told off by mayonnaise. Oh no.
Where is the mayo? Brilliant. So lots of sort of travel there. When you said Washington, was that Washington State or Washington DC?
Washington DC. A couple of there will be people from the UK going there, from Canada. People meet there from the Lego community, and I'm going there too.
Which one is that? Well, what event?
It's just a private event. People want to go to Legoland, New York, and they meet in Washington, take the train down. Yeah.
Do it from there, yeah, because DC is only a couple, I think it's about 3 hours out of New York, sort of thing. So, because the last time we were in New York, we did look at going to Legoland, but to get there from where we were in sort of downtown Manhattan, it was like over 2 hours on public transport and things. So it's kind of like, well, I only got limited days, and
That just sounds like going on the tube. That's fine.
yeah, but when you can get uptown in about half an hour and do stuff like, see, yeah.
Who wants to go uptown? Ew, Legoland, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I haven't been to Legoland on the American continent yet, so I'm sort of done so far. Obviously, Windsor, Denmark, and Dubai.
Wow.
The
Mm.
Dubai one is quite good because there's literally no one there and it's so hot. So the queues are like literally 3 or 4 people. So
Isn't it also the only one that's indoors? So the only one that's solely like fully indoors.
no, the only thing which is indoors is the actual mini land. So you spend a lot of your time going in there because it's like air conditioned. But no, everything else is pretty much outdoors. And yeah, even when we've gone in there, like when it's not summer, so it's still like 40 odd degrees. But yeah, we one time, because it's a nice stopover point for Australia. So we stopped there one time because we're going to Australia in July, and everything was like a third the price normally. I was like, oh, this would be really good. And then you get there and most days are like 50 plus, like you don't even bother going outside. And even so you get to like 9 o'clock at night when the sun's starting to go down, and you try to go into the water, and the water was hotter than what it was like almost outside. Like you're just like, oh, forget that. It's like, I don't need to jump into the pool and be a lobster or something. It's like and I think Bonnie's Bricks, it's a VIP event where you're not sending out an invitation.
I was sent an invitation. I just declined because I'm too cool.
At least you had the option. And then May's come back. One Brick Stud needs to join. I don't like the Technique Club. RFLM blocks get analyzed for disqualification into land for similar stats that social media people do. Watch time matters more than views, like TV ratings.
Yeah, watch time is the most important depending on the platform. Anyone wanting to join the LAN is discussed and analyzed and put through a round table and a discussion panel. Yeah, of course they are. I mean, I applied for LAN on the last round. Obviously, didn't get him.
What?
I know, right? They're totally missing out on these hot takes, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think I didn't get in because they were like, we don't want to send him any surveys to fill out because it's just not gonna be a fun time.
So did they in your thanks but no thanks rejection letter, did they sort of tailor any sort of the rejection to your channel and say this is what you need to work on? Or
yeah, so when you apply, you can ask for feedback. And you get very specific feedback for yourself, and it's purely just the fact that my channel is a little bit smaller than some of the other people I was going up against this time round. There was 200 applicants for LAN in the last round of submissions, and 22. That's including lugs want to become our lugs and all that sort of thing. Out of 200 of those, 22 were onboarded.
Wow.
Good.
But yeah,
the
content isn't sort of like super shareable sort of thing. So it's not like I'm one of the first places you go. I make TikTok filters. So it's you don't come to me to necessarily see the Lego. You come to me to be like, this is something else with Lego.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. Maybe I'll apply again in a couple of years. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll apply now. Who knows? It's fine.
Yeah.
What would you do with it if you were to get into LAN? Would you do reviews like everyone else, or would you?
Absolutely not. Review content is the lowest form of Lego content.
Yeah, fair.
People need to stop doing reviews. It's the same thing everywhere on every platform. There is no merit. There's no creativity. There's no anything special about review content. There are content creators who do reviews who add something special, but there's nothing special about review content. You've got people like Matt Mellish, who does a lot of like character work and comedy skits woven into his set reviews, and then you've got someone like Tiago, who is like a cinematic macro lens genius. But then you've got everyone else just being like, it's set 3453. It's got 4 million pieces and it's a squillion quid, and it needs to be cheaper because the price to piece ratio should always be. And I don't like this set because the minifigure doesn't have detail like this Hasbro minifigure I bought recently. Like, the detail, there's not enough detail. It's not accurate enough. Like it's boring. Stop doing review content. If you want to do anything on the internet this year and social media wise, do creative content. Don't do review content. I hate review
So
content.
I think I've just been sitting here with my Jake Studs bingo card of things that wind him up. So we had reviews, we had lack of personality.
As I was asking, I was like, "Oh yeah, I've just seen that clip of you and your opinion on the reviews."
A lot of that got cut out. That was like a 25-minute rant in that original thing, and Moore did a fantastic cut down job on that, because I think that was the last chicken wing I had eaten at the same time as well. So that was during a Hot One style interview we did for charity.
Right.
So at that point, I'd had
That makes sense.
4, 8, 12, 16 different hot sauces, and we're on the hottest one. So I'm like sweating. Everything's trying to evacuate out of me. And he's like, "What's your hot take?" And I'm like, "Review content. Stop it. You're all bad at it."
So what you're really saying is
make good content.
Be a
Be
Trevor here.
better.
From spicy content, you need to have your review mixed with while you're eating really hot chicken wings or something.
Yeah, sure. Like, you know, if it's like you eat a different kind of like spicy food depending on like the size of your set, sure. If you're reviewing like a poly bag, you know, you're having something that says it's spicy, but it's not. But then, like, I don't know, you're reviewing the Avengers Tower, you've got to like eat like something super spicy and review it within like a certain amount of time. Sounds great. I'd watch that. That sounds amazing content. This is the Avengers Tower. It's there. It's built out. Fuck me. It's built out of Lego. It's different form. I think I've just shit myself. It's great. Buy it if you want it. There's an affiliate link. I've got to go buy.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
That's the kind of content I want to see.
Oh, we've just had a masterclass in the content there. So I think Bonnie there, you know, if Replay Gang is going to be strong on this particular part of it, I might even have to try to tag it or put the
clip it out. Go, you know, spread me about more next time I get into the lab.
But I mean, kind of seriously, but funnily enough, like whenever they've done the 24-hour Beyond the Brick, at least previous years, and Bricks O'Brien was probably the best at it. In the last hour, with all the hot food challenges come out, and that's when they would raise like almost a quarter of what they do in the whole 24 hours would be in that last hour with spicy foods and things.
Bricks O'Brien put a lot of work into that year that he applied. He put into that. That was a lot of effort, a lot of planning, organization of people being on at certain times to do certain things, participate in certain challenges. You know, being like the reason I went on that year, and that was the first year I went on the 24-hour live stream, was because when I wake up, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning there. They're trying to, you know, not fall asleep. And I come in, I'm like, "What's up, everyone? Ding, ding, ding. Hello. Where's hello?" And they're like, "Go away, Jake." And like, "Yeah, no, goodbye."
You're going to be having this gorgeous mug. Keep you awake.
This is people's sleep paralysis demon. This is what this is.
I know certainly when Bricks O'Brien did that one, like what you said, he had it all scheduled out for, you know, certain people to come on at different times and things like that. And I think, I hit on 1 or 2 of the hours in there to do one of the paintings, which was then auctioned off and things like that. And each year, depending upon who's sort of, you know, co-hosting or organizing, it's always a different flavor. So but certainly the Chilli kicks in at some stage, and you know the money rolls in corresponding. They were trying to get people like, you know, for $250, I'll eat this whole bucket of spicy chicken. It's like ding 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 ding. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know. Is it satisfying or sadistic watching somebody suffer for charity like that? Like,
it's sadistically satisfying.
And then Beau Laveau just going off. We've spoken about the lowest form of content, and I think you were kind of hitting at the highest form. You got here, support the 6-hour GBC compilation. So there we go. We can have one brick stud off supporting GBC. He probably doesn't know what it is. Don't anyone spoil it for the rest of us.
GBC, no.
It's a Lego sport. Let's just say that.
Yeah. He's looking worried and confused at the moment. So
yeah.
Echo Rix, you already missed the part where they mock Technic, and without.
Oh yeah, he likes his Technic, doesn't he?
He likes enthusiasm for
I
it.
don't mind some Technic. Technic gave us Bionicle, and Bionicle is alive. All hail the Scrunkle.
Yeah,
I've never gone as far. Everyone went, "A what? It's a Scrunkle." Have you never seen the Scrunkle before? Scrunkle is God.
Yeah.
What
Got
is that?
Lamborghini waffle sauce. It goes everywhere. It's like, oh, it's in Hungary. It's in Brickworld. It's in Chicago. It's in Scotland. It's everywhere. So.
Scrunkle is God. Scrunkle is love. Scrunkle is life. Live, love, Scrunkle.
And I'm just glad how it's a Bionicle figure made out of system bricks.
I've got other Bionicle. There's Bionicle in there and stuff. I've got loads of Bionicle, mate. Don't you worry. But Scrunkle is God. Let's get Scrunkle here now.
There's some themes that you look back in your dark age and you go, I'm glad I was in my dark age.
Some really
What is
cool
everyone's-
parts in Bionicle, eh?
What is everyone's worst theme? I mean, obviously you know mine. So, I mean, if you had to pick one theme that may have already have gone, but one that you can just drop into the realms of oblivion, what would it
Mario.
be? Mario.
Yeah. What's the one coming up? Is it Animal Kingdom? No, that's it.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, yeah.
Crossing.
It's like, I'm going to need to move you apart. That's going to get...
Animal Crossing is the best.
It looks all right. The minifigs look okay, but the buildings just look box
Yeah,
standard.
you only buy it for the minifigs. The buildings is, yeah.
But there's probably some opportunities, like even Brickaski would probably agree. There's probably some great opportunities to do some mocking with those.
The best thing that you could do with them is to do a bank robbery. All them heads would make good masks for bank robbers. It's the only thing I could think to use them for.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Absolutely. What is with the hatred of of this theme that no one's even got yet?
Yeah, this is true. No one's even seen it yet.
You've all seen some flat images. Wait till you get it in your hands at least.
Okay, here we go. Another Jake Studs bingo, complaining about stuff you've never seen.
It's why I don't talk about like leaks or rumors or anything on my content. It's like, what's the point in attempting to cast a review on someone's like blurry pixelated image, which could either be Lego or some kind of body part, and you're kind of having to guess which one's which.
I just love it how they're always blurry photographs. It's like with phone cameras these days, even ones going back 6-7 years, you literally have to be an idiot to get it that blurry. Like, you know.
Yeah. These leaks, Lego do it on purpose, don't they?
My theory was it's the leakers. The leakers create leaks of leaks. So they put the blurry image out first, and that's a leak of a forthcoming more HD picture, which is another leak of the actual set. And that's my conspiracy theory.
So that survey, whatever it was last year? I think it was like exactly a year ago, wasn't it? We had all those leaks. We've only just started 2023, and then we'll find out about sets in 2024. It's like how can you do that? Is it try to get free feedback or get feedback within the community in the social media space? Is it? It sparked a lot of conversation for at least a week or two.
There was the recent Lego Ambassador Network town hall had someone from their leaks division, their privacy, their whole sort of IP protection, blah blah blah.
Why
I can tell.
Employed?
I can tell you that the leaks definitely don't come from them. It's very like with the sort of things that they were talking about. The leaks definitely doesn't come from inside of Lego. There are a million other ways though that things will get leaked.
Like rogue employees.
Yeah, rogue employees, maybe retailers. You know, there's, you know, for retailers, depending on what retailer you are, you're buying 2025 stock now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You know, that's how things happen.
But I thought the retailers, they to some degree buy things from a list that does not really tell you what it is. Rather, like you buy Star Wars,
All
the
depends
price
on what
will be
retailer
X
you are.
and a number. Oh, okay, that could be.
If you're one of those, you know, big giant box stores, etc., you know, you'll have a very different list to your Ma and Pa stores.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Yeah, because in those volumes and those sorts of amounts and things, you need to be planning and cash flow and all the rest of it, and then just sort of, you know, what's there and what's coming up. But I think, yeah, just going back to some of the worst themes, Galador hands down. Speaking of weird things that happen, I did the top 5 most expensive sets, and there was the one for 2021, which I put out sometime in September, and it had a burst over just before Christmas Day, and then a burst in New Year's, and somebody went in the comments there and said, oh, about Jack Stone, that they used to have one, and then it was stolen, sort of thing. And it's sort of like, I think whoever stole that may have actually done you a favor. So. And shout out to Bonnie's Bricks and Trevor as well. Hope that you're going well, Trevor.
Hey, Trev.
Some more comments here. Called employees that meet up in dark alley and make an exchange of goods.
That's the real conspiracy. Where's the you know, what's the secret handshake society of Lego leakers? That's what that is. The stone cutters of Lego leakers.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple I've come across. Don't really engage in this area, but is it Eurobricks? There's some people that have you heard of Eurobricks?
Yeah, they're a whole site, aren't they? They're a whole forum.
Yeah, it's a forum, and it's just occasionally some people just write about, oh, this set's going to be coming out. Because I remember a couple of times last year, I came across people who was writing about all these sets, and they're bang on. They're absolutely right before even the well-known leakers even receive information. Do you reckon, like, maybe people like Brick Clicker, that they hold on to this information and just gather up enough leaks and then just create a video for it? Do you reckon they actually know for a number of weeks before they actually release it?
Yeah, they know long in advance.
Yeah,
lots of core parts of the information. As they say, timing is everything. So it's yeah. And Andy's Bricks and Figures, hope that you're well. Good to see you along. And what's the other? I think Bonnie was glad because Stitch and things, and also not being on here because we're annoying her with some of the comments. And the other comment here. Mayo, even though I co-founded the I Don't Like Technic Club with Brick Hive, I still think Galador is the worst. At least Jack Stone and Four Juniors had stud connections. Thing which
Galador's not the worst. Galador's fantastic. This creativity and madness of Galador was fantastic. There's a Lego affiliated podcast called Bits and Bricks, or Bits and Bricks, which is mostly about Lego games. But it branches out into sort of the weird, wacky themes and all that sort of stuff as well. Like, it told the story before anyone else did. It told the story of the Lego goat and why it's so expensive now and things like that. But because it's Lego affiliated, it had access to like the historians of Lego and like the archives and all these sorts of things. And they did a fantastic thing on Galador and how it was just this like one crazy man's idea to sort of change kids' TV forever. Like, just goes out of hand really quickly.
Who was that you're saying did that?
Bits and Bricks. Let me find it. I'll send you a link.
Bits and Bricks. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, Bits and Bricks podcast. It's their title is their image is like a big yellow.
I think
2x2.
Yeah. I think I listened to that Goat episode. I was looking for Lego podcasts, and yeah, that one came up.
Yeah. I'd be curious. And yeah, just the other reason I picked this up is Brick Hive. Part of the reason he hates Technic is he's a bit of a car fan. So his first Technic set was the was it the Bugatti supercar, or was it it may have been this Lamborghini Cyan. So start Technic with one of those.
Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to find a suitably sized Technic set to get into, and now
I'd recommend the monster trucks. The monster trucks.
Okay, what, the pool ones are they?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because you can usually they'll go on either Amazon or somewhere for like sale for £10 or something, or sometimes it might be 2 for 20 or something. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, they're quite a reasonable size as well, aren't they?
Wow.
Nice. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have a look at them. That's a good recommendation.
What's the minifigure in that, Jake?
On big screen. Hi.
You're showing it. But in the monster truck, what was the minifig in that? Was that you, or was that just a random one?
No, that set's my girlfriend's, and we were just in the Lego store. She was like, "I want to buy Lego," and I was like, "All right, what do you want?" She was like, "I want minifigs and I want a monster truck." I was like, "Go for it!" So she looked at a minifig and bought herself a monster truck. So yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's kind of random and weird all at the same time.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Echo Bricks there with the 4 different supercar colors. I think we should be getting another one later on in the year. And Trevor then again saying congrats on the mock stream. And
Thanks,
speaking of it, latest just posted for a Dark Millennium Falcon. Okay, I'm tempted to want to go and see that, but I'll hold off there. So, well, Trevor's just like, tell us more. The only reason I care about leaks at all is because Lego constantly botches their press releases. They normally don't give enough time before set release and money to buy and say it. Frustrating. Yeah, Lego is bizarre in that they allow the smallest amount of time between releasing information generally and when it's on the shelves. Most toy companies are 18 months in advance. Like, they cannot get the information out too fast.
That's a gaming
What
thing.
kind of toy companies though? Are we talking like toy companies that are collectors, like collecting items, or are we talking about toy companies that are for kids?
For kids, like Hasbro. Like if you have a look at the toy fairs and things like that, they'll have some of the Ninja Turtle stuffs for 18 months away.
Toy fairs differently though. Toy fair's an industry event.
No, but it's it's an industry event, but the information then comes out of that. It's not like the cloak and dagger hiding it sort of thing.
But it is. I think it's a marketing thing that's been tried out in gaming, at least, because it would be, they'd say 2 years in advance that game was coming out, and then some people started doing it like 6 months, and gamers loved it because it was quite immediate. It was there. You didn't have to wait 18 months or whatever.
And now GTA got announced, and it's coming out in the year 2046. There's no consistency. There's no rules for it. The Lego do it because Lego can, and they will, because it's they pump out like 400 different toys a year. Like, it has to be short term. Like, it has to be like, this month we have this out, next month that one's gone. Like, it has to be.
Yeah, but I think part of the other thing there too is Lego are great at shooting their own goals sometimes with it too, in terms of what they do and don't talk about. But leaks of clever marketing get us all excited. I mean, this is the thing that's who was it?
Leaks aren't done by Lego. It's not clever marketing. Because if it was clever marketing, you wouldn't have crappy images.
Yeah, it's. I think when Brixie a week or two ago did a video about that, and he was sort of saying how from the leaks from there, RFLM are really frustrating because it's like they're obviously there to get views at a certain rate or a certain amount because it's somewhat how they get paid, and then if everybody else is out there leaking it, by the time they do their videos or whatever, and they're sort of under embargo, they can't really do anything about it.
So RFLM should do better content than reviewing things.
Do you not like RFLM reviews? Like,
I have nothing against RFLM. I have nothing against the LAN. I have nothing against people who make review content. Review content should not be your bread and butter. I understand why it is. It's easy. It's cheap. But it shouldn't be your bread and butter.
It's cheap in the time frame that you're given, and
but it's competitive. And once it's competitive and it's saturated, it's toxic because you're all fighting, you're all complaining. Oh, this person can do this because they're not in LAN, and this person can't do this. And oh, I can't post my video now because X, Y, and Z posted their videos already, and they posted it before an embargo date, and blah 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 blah. Just make good content, and it's not a problem.
Which then, the small lead times don't exactly become inducive for thinking about original content. It is just more the sausage factory mentality. We got toy companies have to be careful with leaks for films. Yeah, I think that gets into a whole different area, particularly if you've got things which can contain spoilers or anything which hints at that. Is that Brick Askew? Okay, thanks. Yeah, talking about that. Still not started, unfortunately. Trevor has been building on this waiting forever. Okay, brilliant. I think something which, Jake, you've sort of talked about on other platforms or places.
Oh no! What am I getting in trouble for now?
No, yeah. Why do you love Twitch so much?
Twitch is fantastic. Twitch is such a non-competitive platform. On YouTube, everyone's fighting for views. Even with live streams, everyone's fighting for views. It's an oversaturated platform. Even within its niche, well, we literally just touched on it with review content. Like, it's oversaturated. No one's doing anything creative. They are pumping out the exact same content with just a different voice on it. Twitch allows you to be different. It's long form content. It's non-competitive. When you end a stream on Twitch, most people go and raid another channel. And what that means is you pick up your people who are viewing, who say, yes, I want to go with you to somewhere else, and you go drop them somewhere else. So you can create things like raid trains, which I'm a part of, which is, so on Tuesdays at 9 p.m, I kick off the brick building community raid train. And we have 14 plus hours of continuous Lego content from one streamer to another all around the world. So it starts with me at 9 p.m. I wake up and it's the last two people streaming. And we're in Australia and New Zealand, and it's the next day evening for them. Like,
that's really cool.
Yeah. It's such a different mentality of content creation. Having a good community definitely helps that. The brick building community, which for all purposes I am technically an ambassador for, is a fantastic community. And not just saying that because I'm an ambassador. I became an ambassador because of that. Like, it's everyone lifts each other up. Like, if you start Lego content, we will talk about you in the Discord. We will share your content around. We have things built in place to make sure that there's always enough people watching at enough time. We built the brick building stream team. So that means like there's something like 90 plus people on that team, which are all, you know, if you want to look for Lego content, we don't have a Lego category. Go look for the brick building stream team. Like that's where, you know, loads of the people are. And to get in that, I think the only thing for that is like most of your streams have to be Lego related. So that's whether that's like a Lego talk show, putting bricks together, like playing Lego video games. If it's got the big red square on it, great. Like, you know, in the brick building community, if we find you and you're wanting to become Twitch affiliate, which is the second tier of Twitch. So you have Twitch creator, which is just anyone on Twitch. We have then Twitch affiliate. That's when you can start doing a couple more fun things. You get access to channel points. You also start getting ad revenue splits. You start getting bits and subscriptions as well. So you start making some money off Twitch, which is great. So if you want to get to that level, but you kind of, you know, you're on a mission to it, the brick building community will help you, you know, you get you the followers that you need. Obviously, you have to put in the rest of the work of, you know, actually streaming the amount of times that it's needed for it and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, this last year just gone, we went from 0 people who were Twitch partners to I think we've now got like 4 or 5 because they put in the time, they put in the effort, and we went from no one being, you know, what is considered the top elite category of Twitch streamers to like 5 or 6 people within a year who are absolutely killing it in the Lego space, who are content creators on multiple types of platforms, but they choose Twitch as their home. I mean, I was a YouTuber for ages. I've been creating content for 16 odd years. At this point, I'm only 30, so I've done half of my life has been making stuff and sticking it on the internet in some capacity. And Twitch is just so different. So different. It's also just I think it's way better to also just stream on full stop. Like if you're doing a live show, you need to be doing it on Twitch. Like it is built for live streaming first. YouTube doesn't put enough effort behind its live streaming stuff.
No,
I mean, it only just launched like super chats and members, which is like, you know, that is Twitch fundamentals sort of thing. Like there's no support for anyone doing live content, and there still isn't.
The notifications, and I think you even did you or somebody else did, like, you know, if you're live streaming on YouTube, to get a notification, by the time you go click the person's notification, then go into all the different settings, then see which particular one that you want and where you want it to get. Like you just, and that's why I find half the time I like the people who dual stream to YouTube and Twitch, because if you subscribe on Twitch, then you'll get the notification, and it's like, hey, this person's gone live. It's like, okay, right. But whereas you do that on YouTube, and it's like you're getting notifications every 2 seconds because it's like, oh, this channel which you watched a video once, which you may have pressed the thumbs up button. Here, they've just put up a new video, and here's this one, that one, this one, this one, that. It's just like,
they devalued the subscription button back in like 2009.
Yeah.
When they went from a homepage, which was a literal YouTube employee hand selecting videos on YouTube and to put them on the homepage to an algorithm, they devalued the subscription button.
Can I ask about Twitch? So the one thing that I've been wary of, because before starting our stream, we did have a little discussion about Twitch or YouTube, and one of the main things that came up was the fact that the adverts just come up kind of in the middle of the stream, and obviously that's like they kind of have to. But do you navigate that at all? Do you have to navigate it, or like, because obviously some people pay to not see ads, right? I think.
Yeah. So once you get to Twitch affiliate, people can start subscribing to you. So subscribing is like becoming a member on YouTube. So you you pay X amount a month, or if you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription a month. And that obviously stops and resets, so you have to actively resubscribe, or you can use your subscription anywhere. So that kind of thing. And another reason why, you know, there's a lot of hate around Twitch and the way its corporate structure works, and rightfully so. But in this last year to year and a half, they have put in a lot more tools to actually support streamers in those sorts of things. So they've got their whole Twitch alert system now. So you don't have to do your alerts through a third party. You can do your alerts in Twitch itself. You can fiddle around in all the settings. You can actually have a little counter that comes up that tells the streamer when an ad's about to happen. You can tell Twitch when you want ads. So, like, for example, you get a slightly higher ad split if you do 3 minutes of adverts every hour, which isn't actually that many adverts.
No.
So I set mine to, I want one cluster of adverts to appear every hour, and I start my stream at 9 o'clock. First set of ads come on, which means they'll appear in another hour. So normally on Twitch, bottom right hand corner, you will see how long the person's been streaming. If they've got their settings like me, Twitch adverts will appear on the hour every hour. It's as simple as that.
Okay. So there's ways to deal with it, and is it also just people like watchers are they're just used to it?
They don't care. It's
it.
fine. It's another fantastic way to support the streamers. I mean, Twitch ad revenue is actually fine. I think it's like 40-60, which I know sounds pretty crappy, but you know, you're running 3 minutes of ads every hour, and you're streaming like 3 hours a stream. You know, doing that a couple of times a week adds up a couple of times a month, adds up a whole bunch a year. Like, it's not as bad as people make it out.
No, okay, yeah. Guys, if you're out there, we might have to have a conversation.
But with those ads as well, can't you push ads as well at certain points?
Yeah, you can push ads. So there's a button in the Twitch backend which is just like run 1 minute of ads. So sometimes if I go to like my Be Right Back screen, if I need to use the facilities, or if something happens, whatever, sometimes I'll just run an extra minute of ads because it helps. And also, when you do things like that, if you're playing by Twitch's rules, they kind of like to, they push you a little bit more. There's better chances of, when people are looking for raiders in a category, you might maybe end up a couple of scrolls a little higher than you would normally when you search Lego and stuff like that. So there are benefits to playing to the rules. There's also negatives. I mean, 3 minutes of ads is a chunk of time. Like if you're only streaming 2 hours, that's you're doing 6 minutes of ads. That's 10% of your time.
Because I don't know whether it's the channels which I just happen to watch and things like that, but those ads, like particularly if you're trying to first get into a stream and you go and click on somebody and there's 3 minutes of ads, and it's just like, this is and some people can be quite aggressive with those ads, and it sort of comes up like every 10 minutes or so there'll be like another 2-minute block of adverts and things.
Although, Matt, you can make the most of it. As Drake just said, when the ads are going to hit. Just before this is the case, you give your audience a couple of mathematical equations that they then have to solve. When they come back, they have to give you the solutions.
Make it a game. Make the adverts part of your content.
Yeah,
you've got to do that. Unfortunately, what's sort of, at least with some of the ones I've seen, is you'll have the 2-minute block of ads or the 3-minute block, but the streamer will still be streaming. So if you're not subscribed or whatever it is, you can miss out on that part of the conversation and things. and you're only
just ask what you missed. It's fine. Most streamers, especially if it's Lego, like it's not exactly like high octane sort of content, is it? You know, you can be like, oh, you started a sentence 3 minutes ago, but then there are ads. Like, also, Twitch chatters will let you know if they're seeing an ads, because if you're being a good part of a conversation and you don't notice ads have started, your Twitch chat will just be ads, because they're letting you know, like, maybe stop the conversation. We'll let you know when we're back, because this is interesting. We're actually engaging with you here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think Bob Laveau is also saying it could be a problem with the streamer. Yeah, because I've seen that. Like, I also, have an interest in some art channels and things like that as well, because naturally, and that's just always been the one thing which has driven me crazy about it, because then particularly there's one or two people which I then had been supporting on the Patreon as well. So it's like, and they don't have that linked in with Twitch. So it's like, okay, I'm supporting you over here.
There is no way of unfortunately linking Patreon in with Twitch. I wish there was. It would be a fantastic way to do it, but you'd lose out on too much of your Patreon money, because Twitch would want too much.
Yeah. So, and then I just saw two gay AFOLs. Welcome along. I think it was one of the first times to see you here. Great to have you in. Appreciate that. I'm just sort of seeing some of the talking about the Monkey Kids set that they were building there. The other sort of thing I was going to say, or ask from your point of view, Jake. You've obviously been doing, content for a while and things like that. What do you feel have been some of the biggest changes between, say, when we were doing stuff during COVID to doing stuff sort of post-COVID worlds? Obviously, you got the shorter form content sort of rised up in that time, but just anything else which you can sort of go, there's definitely been a different shift or a different feel to things coming out of the pandemic.
People take their hobbies more seriously. People are looking after their own mental health. They're actively engaging to strike that work-life balance a little bit more towards life. And because of that, there are going to be more content creators, which is, absolutely fine. There should be more content creators. Creating content is a lot of fun. It's an art form. It's a way of expressing yourself. It's fantastic. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things, is just content creating has become even more accessible, and that's fantastic. There shouldn't be a high barrier to creating content. If you even there's a tiny part of you that let's say you want to start streaming. I mean, you're like, streaming looks fantastic. It's so much fun. There's loads of people in chat. You get to interact. You get to talk with people in your community, all that sort of thing. But I don't have all the equipment. You do. First of all, you're watching this on some kind of device. 90% chance that device has a camera on it and has access to, it has to have access to the internet. So the only thing that is the probability is the camera. Most pieces of technology have a camera on it somewhere that you can access. You can stream from that straight. You can pick up your phone and start streaming. Do it. And then if you like to start, if you're enjoying it, if you're enjoying making the content, maybe then start looking at other things. Maybe start branching out with other bits. Like, I get asked a bunch of times, and my new camera keeps getting brought up when I do it, because it moves along. It's like, oh, what crazy camera have you got? It's my iPhone. I just stream from an iMac because I have creative software. I've been in a creative ecosystem, and the industry standard for a long time with creative industries has been the Apple computer system. So I have a Mac. They now connect together and talk together, or I can use my phone as a webcam. That's only happened within the last 6 months, and it now it tracks me. It's building on that from small and keep going. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the views. If you're live streaming, look at things like there's a fantastic Twitch statistic, which is like chat engagement or something like that, and it's such a bizarre like 1 week I will have like everyone in the chat will be popping off, everything will be laughing, and it will say like 3, and then like the week next, and like it's a bit of a slow week, we're just not doing much, and it will say like 40, and I'd be like, why? It makes no difference, no sense.
Yeah.
So don't worry and think about the stats. It's, are you having fun? Yes. Then start to progress, start to branch out, start to look at other things. In answer to your question, people taking content creation seriously and access to content.
Yeah, no, it's certainly something where, I don't know, just because we happen to be here in sort of mid 2020, and we saw that first video, it was like a dumb Mario video, and it was like just a vertical format, and it got like 1 million views, and we just sort of all were looking at each other, and it's like, how the heck did that happen? Not realizing that was YouTube doing beta shorts, basically. And so very quickly, we saw all that change, and to some degree, it almost felt like the entry point to doing content became easier. Like if you, before, when you only had long form content and live streaming, well, long form content generally means a lot of editing. Okay, yes, there are exceptions to it, but you've generally got to think of a story and do it. And if you've got your final video turns out to be 10 minutes, you may have shot 3, 4, 10 times that amount, and just physically, the time required to go through and edit that. Whereas at least some of the short form content, you can, as what you say, just on your phone, do something really quick. The tools there are within the apps to stitch things together. It can be pretty quick, and you can get it out there and it sort of hits. So we saw that, but I think overall, I noticed it myself in terms of everyone's stuck at home. If you're working and you've got kids and everything like that, you needed, the live streaming and things as a way to get away from everyone but still be in the house. Whereas then post-COVID, it was sort of like, actually, no, I can get out of the house and see people and things like that. Like, I don't need to be sitting down and doing live streams or watching live streams, or, there's other things, life. So you could really see, I guess, that difference as well. But I thought certainly the way that you're talking about content and sort of those early days of Reels and TikTok and things, where because there was less competition, you could put anything out and it could spike really easily, and it didn't have to be quality. But then as time's gone on, it's had to be more quality, and you are getting a lot more professionally produced content.
You are, but you also have to remember short form content's been around for a while. It was just never on a platform that was monetizable. So Vine was maybe one of the king daddies of short form content.
Long live Vine.
Yeah, which then got bought by Twitter, and then it got integrated into Twitter. So short form content's always existed. There were just new platforms with different takes on how to do it. The only reason short form content's taken off in the way that it has is because it was originally a platform called Musical.ly, which was a dub smash app owned by ByteDance, which then ByteDance got bought by Tencent, and they were like, cool, we're gonna advance on this, we're gonna allow people to do things other than just lip sync and dance to things. We're gonna let them do whatever. I mean, you get people on TikTok now who make content, and all the comments are in their comments of people being like, "Oh, this gives me Vine vibes." It's like, no, it's just short form content.
Mm-hmm.
It's not changed. It hasn't risen. It hasn't developed anything differently or significantly. It's just now on a platform which advertisers can get to.
Yeah, just hold that thought because I come back to it. I know it's kind of Nicole's Cinderella midnight sort of thing where she needs to get off because she's got a bit of travel tomorrow, and she's always said, look, I know I'm going to enjoy it and want to hang around, but you need to boot me because otherwise I'm not going to have enough sleep and work becomes a problem and everything. So Nicole, just do you want to sort of show us what you sort of built, and then any sort of social media plugs, what's coming up?
Very good.
Oh, nice.
I really like it. It's a good one. It's smaller than I had thought, but really nice. I can recommend it.
And if you had one of those, what food would you serve out of it, Nicole?
I'm German. Sausages.
Ah.
And kraut. Always with kraut. And mustard. Yeah. Yeah. I will see what the weekend will lead me to. Last weekend, I did a lot of research into live streaming. So I learned a lot, and I will try to apply it. So if you see me appear, it's just testing me, trying to what happens.
Brilliant, excellent. Are you sort of going to be doing YouTube or Twitch or Instagram? What sort of you thinking of there?
Instagram will always be my place for Sir Awesome Fishy and us just spontaneously getting together, like as if we met for a cup of coffee with bricks and pieces and having a chat. I'm wondering whether I will aim for YouTube or Twitch. YouTube wasn't really kind to me last time I tried it, sometime last year. I was able to create a live stream, but then YouTube told me that I'm not allowed to enter it. And I thought I'm the host. I'm kind of
Yeah.
I guess not. Maybe that was a judgment of my streaming qualities. Like, trust me, this stream is better without you. Just let it be.
Oh, that can't be. If that was the case, though, it'd be like the rest of you, and I'd never be here. So.
Oh no. No.
Okay, well, great.
I will try where it leads me. I will check everything out. What at the moment my theory is I go with StreamYard. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Let's see where it leads me.
Yeah, no, I've always, being as technically challenged as anyone, found it relatively straightforward. And so hopefully, you can just make the connections and whatever else and get that sort of happening.
I hope so. Thank you.
Cool.
Brilliant. And coming up, you've got your Instagram stream with Sir Awesome Fishy. Is that tomorrow or is that Friday week?
Next week.
Okay,
yeah.
Then. All right. Well, brilliant. It's always good to have you in and good to see you. And I know it's your pumpkin hour, so we'll
right before I turn into a pumpkin. But it was amazing to hang out with you. Thank you very much for having me. It's always great fun. I absolutely love it.
Brilliant. Well, we always love having you in, and hope you have a good evening, and we'll see you at some stage on the other socials very soon.
Thank you very much. Be good.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Nicole. Bye. Sorry, Jake. Just Nicole needs to.
Oh, I was at the end of my point. It's fine.
Okay, good. Timing then. Excellent. Either that or you're just being very generous to the host. It's like, I wasn't saying anything important that you cut me off in.
I never say anything important. Jeez.
I'm just trying to see if there's a few other comments back here. Bonnie Bricks, give me out trying to work out the algorithms, and the algorithm just makes it work and take away from the fun. I'm happily building bricks and chatting and all those. Yeah, it's interesting. I started to see somewhere where the algorithm. People talking about the algorithm, but I think you need to somewhat change the word algorithm to audience. It's like if you're not doing something which is going to hit an audience or people necessarily will want to watch and things like that, I think there's an interesting idea. Once you sort of, I think, mentally have changed it from algorithm, which seems to be very abstract and something you can't control, to audience, it's sort of like, well, you then start going, okay, this is what I'm doing, something which people really want to watch and engage with.
Mm-hmm. Yes and no. At first, you should be going, am I having fun?
Mm-hmm.
Then you should be go, is the audience having fun? Then if you get to the point where, you start bankrolling off it and you start, making some life-changing cash, then yes. Then start talking and thinking about the algorithm. The algorithm 100% exists, and it 100% has to be played to. If you want to do that, you don't have to do that, and you can be successful without doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that was when you're saying before, I never really played with Vine, aware of it sort of thing. The thing which I found really scary with TikTok when I first opened it and watched the first 6-7 videos, very quickly it then started feeding you things that you like watching and things like that. And I think that maybe I'm just ignorant, but that I think really set TikTok apart.
Oh yeah, 100%. Its algorithm
they had
is
that
unmatched.
worked out really well.
Yeah, it's the most fine-tuned algorithm for content delivery anywhere. Like YouTube wish it had it, because then YouTube would actually value its subscriber button, but it can't. YouTube doesn't know how to keep your video, how to keep an audience on its site. It's why it values watch time, and why part of the watch time number also includes not just watch. There's like two types of watch time. There's watch time just for your channel, and then there's watch time where it starts on your channel. So if someone watches your video, logs onto YouTube, watches your video first, YouTube will then track how long and how many videos you're clicking on and how long you're staying on its site. And if you're staying on there long enough, they're going, well, this first person, oh, they're quite valuable, aren't they? So they're going to push them up in the algorithm.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you also think that YouTube might have a problem because, it's got split personality? I always see there's two flavors of videos on YouTube. And, it, being the second largest search engine, there's a lot of tutorial how-to, I want information to solve a problem, educational type stuff. And then there's the entertainment side of things. And I don't know how many times I've probably gone on there and gone, right, I'm looking for how to do something, right, I've gotten that. Oh, and look, there's this other thing over here which I'll start watching, which is more in the entertainment, like, the top 10 things you didn't know about Terminator 2 or something weird like that. Like,
yeah, I mean, YouTube was the second biggest search engine for a long time, which a lot of people don't really think about. Like, how many times have you gone to be like, I don't know how to do this? And you go to maybe Google to look at it, but you actually end up on a YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are now doing that in Instagram and TikTok and everywhere else. Like, I think TikTok's now the third biggest search engine in the world.
Because isn't there a thing about a lot of TikTok's content, or the most popular is educational content, right?
Yep. Most popular content on the whole of TikTok is educational content. And that goes from, people doing science experiments all the way up to, I don't know how to boil an egg. Well, I'm going to teach you how to boil an egg in 5 seconds. I have a cookbook which I was given when I was a student, and I think it's called the Student Cookbook. And the first recipe in it is boil an egg.
Yeah.
Now people don't need that. They go to TikTok and they go, how do I boil an egg? I actually had someone in my uni, in my dorms. They came and knocked on my door and they went, Jake, I want to cook an egg. I went, great. weird statement you just made there. And they were like, yeah, how do I cook an egg? You know how to cook. How do I cook an egg? And I was like, what kind of egg do you want to cook? And they were like, I don't know. I was like,
egg. I just want egg.
You're in luck, sir. Here's a book.
Or were you just misreading this pickup line? Hey, Jake, how do you cook an egg?
Well,
and you're just like, well, actually,
look, what happens at university stays at university, right?
Yeah, it is particularly, with kids and things like that, and they're of that age, and you're trying to explain to them what the world was like without the internet, or what the world was like before Google, even, where you can just find pretty much anything you want at the touch of your fingers, or trying to explain the concept of, when you've got TV and VCRs and there's 2 channels. And they're like, well, couldn't you just go on and just type in what you wanted and watch it? Like, it's like, no.
Yeah.
So, and by the reactions of some people on the panel, it's like, yeah, you guys.
Yeah, I remember. I mean,
I
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being in our house when I was very young, just above toddler age. The children were the remotes. It was, oi, go change it.
Remote controls weren't a thing, were they?
Yeah, exactly.
Or they were for the more expensive TVs.
Or the very first ones had the long wire that went from
the
TV
long
across.
cord.
Yeah.
And then somebody you'd have the cord there, and somebody would walk in the room and trip over it, and all of a sudden it flies over the room and changes.
Just lost the TVs that's pulled off the rickety wired shelf that it sat on.
Our TVs were too heavy to be pulled off of the thing back then.
CRVs.
Oh, I remember CRTs. I still knocked a few of them over. When you've got skills like mine, my friends.
I mean, that's the thing about all these small TVs now. You're never going to see that scene in an action film where somebody's going to pull a flat screen off the wall and smash it into somebody's head as much, are you? It's not going to get the.
Oh, I think we're watching very different content on the internet, me and you.
Oh, dear me, that's just trying to say there.
So what? Let me ask you guys a question about content, because you guys seem to have interrogated me about content tonight. Why and what made you want to start content? Like, what made you want to start being on streams? What made you want to start being YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers, whatever your speciality is, your niche?
If I appear on a stream, my class is a content creator.
Yes.
All right.
You are right now creating content in a live discussion on a public platform.
Right. Just for the fun of it, really.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Fine and perfect answer.
I'm not subscribe driven or anything like that. It's I can't. Well, I know I can't be subscribe driven anyway, because I don't do what you should do to get your numbers up. So yeah, it's just purely for the fun of it and to be part of the community. Because it's like I used to watch live streams for a good couple of years now, and I often found it was quite at some point quite boring just commenting all the time in the chat. I actually wanted to verbalize my passion. That's why I welcome the idea of appearing on live streams. So that's it, really, and obviously to enjoy it.
Nice.
And there's your
you had what I call what I call drag queen syndrome, because drag queens are only drag queens only become drag queens when they see drag queens and go, I can do better than that.
It's like, okay, as you start saying that, it's like, I'm going to be really curious to see where this thought ends up, because it could be.
What stays at university stays at university.
So, what Chris said though, just getting involved, watching live streams and wanting to actually be part of the conversation.
I'd like to say I'm not fussed about counts and numbers, but they are enticing. I know when I'm looking at them, they're not.
They're designed to be enticing.
Important.
They're when you do good on YouTube, YouTube even puts a little confetti thingy on your if you do a #1 video out of your last 10, it's like, oh, look at this confetti. Like, oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got an Instagram reel with 1,000 views, and they let me know, and it's like,
yeah.
Ooh,
they're like, why do you need to know you got 1,000 views? They don't, but they're like, hey, by the way, just in case you care.
yeah. But yeah, I think for the fun community, talking to people, and having the conversations that I want to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with myself, because my name, Madlib stands for Martin Andrews Documenting Life in Bricks. So for me, it was just documenting the build I'm making on a video platform, because I built a set and really enjoyed building it. And then I just went, oh, I wish I'd have filmed this. And then I thought, well, I'll just start YouTube and just start putting it up. So yeah, that's kind of where I started. So yeah, so it's my channel is actually more for me than anyone else.
Good. Yeah, nice.
So,
It's called YouTube
I think I also...
or something, isn't it? You know, it's not called them tube.
I also want to, because when I got back into Lego, trying to find the stuff that I wanted to do was quite hard. So I also want to put stuff out. So if there's anyone else out there going down the same kind of route, that it makes it a bit easier for them to then get to where they want to.
Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. Excellent. I think for me, originally, because it's called Family Bricks, it was the sort of thing. The kids were quite young, and they wanted to do YouTube. So it's kind of like, okay, we'll get into this and sort of do it. And because at that stage, I was watching a lot of those sorts of videos where kids were doing stuff with their parents and, making videos of it and things like that. And so a lot of the early stuff is that. And there was also some things where you would go, like we would go to different places and you try to find information about stuff, whether it's, a Legoland or whatever it was. And the information generally wasn't there. So it's like, well, if we can't find it, we'll just quickly make something. And then, those videos started to do well and everything like that. And then very shortly thereafter, Copper came along. And that sort of, was the sort of thing about videos targeting kids and how you have kids in videos and this, that, and the other. And so it kind of changed it quite quickly. And then the pandemic came along and it became a matter of, well, you're at home schooling 2 young kids while working full time with, as business owners, things going horribly every time Boris Johnson got up and opened his mouth, sort of thing. So it was sort of like, that little bit of time on YouTube was kind of a bit of an escape, or, being able to talk to people and, get away from everything else. And I, somewhat struggled then when the pandemic sort of came and you could sort of then go out and get everything, because you sort of still were doing YouTube, but then it's like, actually, no, I want to get out and do stuff now. So eventually, because I was doing a lot more of a drawing stream at that stage, because it was a bit of that escape. It's like, okay, I can sit down for 6 hours and take requests and blah, 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 blah. And then once the pandemic ended, it's like, actually, this is becoming hard work now and I want to be doing other things. So I sort of stopped that. And then restarting this series originally was just a matter of, I've got a whole bunch of Lego in boxes in a backlog. It's like, I either need to build this or stop doing it. Like, there's no point. So originally, the original ones were just a matter of, I'm going to build some Lego and, get through the backlog and allocate that time. And if anybody else turns up and wants to do the same, then great. And then sort of towards the end of last year, I think originally then it was, trying to organize, just sending out links and things like that to everybody's email or individual Instagram and things. I think I just got lazy and went, well, you know what? If I create a group of all my regulars, I can post the link once and then I won't have to do this. But the side thing out of that now is we actually talk in that channel quite a bit, like multiple times a day, and I think just between the regulars become quite close. Because there's things that you'll say in there which you generally just won't say to the outside world for whatever reason. So, and it's kind of, just switching a bit now, because before it was very much a backlog, but I don't actually build too much on this anymore, because it's sort of like, well, trying to host and like, just keep things kind of ticking along in a semi-semblance, because you do start watching some other streams, and sometimes when people just sitting there the whole time clicking bricks, it's like, this isn't exactly the most interesting thing. Like, how can we have some interesting conversation at least? So, and I think there's just been some videos which you've done over time, and a lot of them are those sorts of educational, how you do this, or you made a mock, and a lot of times I'll do the instructions, because if the kids smash it up or something like that, it's like, how do I get back to that? And then release it. And then just over time, it's sort of like, wait a minute, these videos are getting 20, 30, 40 views a day, and it happens for like years on end. And, some videos are creeping up 20, 30, 40,000 views now. It's like, that's kind of just still ticking over, and I never have to think about them again almost. So, and I think, to what Jake was saying in terms of, I'm a bit of an analytical sort of thing, and YouTube, if you're in analytical, well, with all the stats that are there, knock yourself out sort of things. So,
YouTube has the most comprehensive and deep diveable backend for any content creator. If you know how to study that, you can make a very good job doing YouTube. A very, very good job at doing YouTube. But now, chat, we get to play the game of which one of these guys was lying and which one of that's in for the money. Chat, who do you think was actually lying throughout their entire thing and is actually trying to get into Lego content for the money? Who do you think it's going to be?
Well, I'll put my case forward for not being it. As the person who's been able
It's Matt. It's definitely Matt. He jumped the gun way too quickly.
He's got investor in his bio.
Sometimes it pays to be quiet. Sometimes it pays to be quiet.
As a person who's so technically useless, they can't figure out how to turn the subscription or membership button on. Like, I've only had that option to do now for 3 years. No, it's.
I love that Madlib stands for something, by the way. It gives me Jang vibes. Do you guys know the story of the name Jang?
I don't
I know
what it means.
Know what it means, but no, if there's a story, hit us up.
Yeah, there's. I mean, it's not really much of a story. It's just that it originally came from he was a big Wu-Tang Clan like fan, and it came from a Wu-Tang Clan like name generator, and it was like a big long name, and he took that bit and made it stand for just a nice guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's nice. That was quite nice to find out. Like, and he is a nice guy. I didn't know the Wu-Tang side of it though.
Oh yeah. Well, why do you think he's got an excessive knife collection?
Okay.
I mean, his voice is very soothing. I mean, Matt will remember. Do you remember Bob Ross?
Yeah.
He had a soothing
How
voice.
young do you think I am?
He's still on TV now, isn't he? Or he's on YouTube at least.
He died years ago.
Yeah, he died years ago, but like there is a Twitch channel which streams 24/7, 365, just Bob Ross. He only made something like 60 episodes. It's been like it repeats like them 3 times daily, but still
is sort of thing. Yeah, the incredible thing with like the Bob Ross stuff is he would actually go in and he'd do each painting twice. So the first one would basically just be, okay, let me figure out what it is, what I'm going to say, and then he'd do it again. And he's doing like 2 paintings, and I think he'd do like, is it 4 or 5 episodes a day he'd shoot? Like, it's just something crazy. But the most interesting thing is that he is the way that he is now, because guess what his previous profession was?
Sergeant.
Yeah, he was an army drill instructor, and he's just sort of like, I've spent my whole life yelling and screaming at people. I want to do basically the exact opposite of that.
Wow.
There's a fantastic Bob Ross documentary called Happy Accidents, Betrayal and Greed. And it's about Bob Ross rising to what Bob Ross is, and then what's happened to Bob Ross afterwards, and the brand of Bob Ross, and all this sort of stuff, and it's absolutely crazy. It's mad.
Okay, is that on one of the streaming services, or
I believe it's on Netflix.
Okay, I'll have to have a look at that.
Take a note of that.
There you go. That's my little thing for everyone. It's the Bits and Bits podcast and a story about Bob Ross. Don't go watch any of us. Don't go watch my stuff. Turn off.
Yeah.
Stick Netflix on and get on Apple Podcasts now.
Yeah. Click the affiliate link below. Yeah.
Wait a minute. What? Why is that linking across to Jake Studd's? What?
Yeah.
Okay then, and because how is memberships on sort of, or the equivalent on Twitch, very similar to YouTube, or is it?
There's a 3-tier system. You can subscribe for 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier. You can subscribe for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. So you can buy your subscription in advance. There's also a thing called Twitch Turbo, which isn't as exciting as it sounds, but it means that it's a little bit like how YouTube Red used to work. If any of you guys knew what YouTube Red was, it was like this all-in-one subscription thing. It meant you got like no ads, offline videos, all this sort of stuff. That's Twitch's equivalent to that. So it's no adverts, and you get, the streamer still gets their revenue split and all that sort of stuff, and they get a percentage of, if you're watching, me 10% of the time, 10% of your turbo goes to me. Once Twitch takes their cut, obviously. Another really cool thing about Twitch, though, is, I mentioned it earlier, is the bits system. So that you got subscriptions is one way to support a streamer. Another way is called bits, and you cheer with bits. It's the equivalent of a super sticker on YouTube or something like stupid like that. Yeah. And Twitch streamers get 100% of bits cheered, and they start at, you pay a little bit more for them, so Twitch gets their money that way, and then when you cheer 1 bit, that is equivalent to 1 cent. So you cheer 100 bits, that's $1, and so on and so forth. So you can buy this sort of digital-ish currency, and that's another way that streamers get support in that kind of way. And if you're a clever streamer, you can have like your bits, like if someone donates X amount of bits, a thing appears on screen, or it unlocks a challenge, or all these sorts of things.
Okay, I was just wondering about bits and how that worked and what the equivalence was. So I think in 30 seconds you managed to explain something which has baffled me for about like 4 years.
This is the best way, I think, to support a streamer, other than supporting them directly through donations or offline, like off stream somewhere else, solely because they get 100% of it. Yes, you have to pay a little bit more in advance, but it's not really that much. I mean, I don't know if I can find out how much it is, but I will do some quick googling.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, Bonnie Bricks, she got into Lego when pregnant and couldn't do the usual hobbies, found Lego to be accessible, inclusive, and of course fun. Combination of discovering Brixie and watching Lego Masters got me obsessed. Then I saw how big the community is on socials and how so many people make their own content and brand themselves, and I thought it looks fun, and I want to be part of this too. Yes,
yeah.
I'm just curious to see, now that you're looking at pregnancy number 2, what happens after that? So like, if you got into Lego, does that mean you're going into Dark Age and you'll start, I don't know, moon gazing or something, or I don't know what's. I was going to say rock climbing or something like that, but I think that's what you got out of. So I think, and then I think Trevor as well. Enjoy being creative with the content, both YouTube and Instagram, because it highlights my passions for the hobby, and I enjoy getting to know everyone in this community, making new friends. And yeah, Trevor has a very good cinematic eye as well.
Yeah.
And you play a massive part within the community, and all great friends to me. Which, yeah, that's where.
So Trevor's saying he's in it for the money, along with Bonnie Bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both started at the same time, and they're excellent friends. So I'm sure cheering each other on.
Suspicious. Sounds like the starting of a cartel. 100 bits on Twitch costs £1.35 if you buy it through desktop. Obviously, if you buy it like on your iPhone, it costs more, and if you buy on your Android, it costs more because Apple and Google want to take X amount of percentage of your money. But if you're going to buy bits, buy it on desktop. Also, if you're going to subscribe on desktop, so that way you negate these third-party extra fees. Always subscribe and buy bits on Twitch through desktop. Don't do it through mobile app.
So when you're saying desktop, you mean like you're actually sitting on a desktop in a web browser?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Sorry, I'm just never quite making sure.
Popular as well. Yeah, bits also some go on sale sometimes and things like that as well. So at the moment, I think if you want to buy like 25,000 bits, you get like a 15% desktop. So it's pretty good instead of paying like God knows how much that would actually be. But it's like if you had some money or wanting to spend inside of Twitch, it's just under 300 quid's worth. You get 25,000 bits that you can then just share around with everyone.
Yeah. And that's sometimes too, being small content creators and things like that. When you see it, it's sort of like, okay, what is the way that you're going to get the most money, which I'm sort of trying to get to you, because as you say, there's the platforms taking their little bit, and other sort of little things. And I don't mean being honest. I have my eye on things like YouTube monetization opportunities, applying for land one day, but I'm determined not to let it lead me astray.
They're fantastic things to strive for and go for. And the best ways to get to them are by, first and foremost, making content you enjoy and making good content. Then you can build on it and get to these monetization ways and monetization opportunities and things like that. I mean, I did I'm small. I'm tiny as far as a content creator is concerned. Didn't get into LAN, but I did a hashtag ad with Lego 2K Drive when it came out, which it's completely you wouldn't really hear of that in any other normal sense, but in this community of the Lego space, someone can see some content, see some value in it. I'm not saying I do great content, but I do some pretty good content sometimes. At least I think so. And that's, it's why I make it, because I'm enjoying it. And that's what hopefully comes through on camera, and it can lead to things like that.
Do you think for you... No. Okay.
No, I do not think that's part of the problem.
Are you a content creator first and foremost, and you use Lego, or are you a Lego fan who then makes content?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I've always loved Lego, and I've always loved creating things. Because I mean, like Twitch and like being a multi-platform content creator wasn't a thing back in the old days of content creation. If you were a content creator, you were a YouTuber, and YouTuber, that term only kind of originated around 2008 and was still sort of spat upon back then. where am I going with this story, Jake? You were always told to sort of like find your niche, was always like thrown around a lot. Like you have to find your niche to succeed in content, like succeed on YouTube. You have to find your niche. Yes, but you can also be really bad at your niche. You can also not make good content in your niche. Just because you chose a niche doesn't mean you have to stick to it. You can experiment. You can find what you want. It took me 13 years to get into making Lego content. And the reason I made it was because lockdown started. My friend turned around to me and said, "Did you know that there are people not doing reviews on YouTube of Lego?" And I was like, "Oh, really? People are actually doing YouTube-y stuff with it?" And he went, "Well, watch it and figure it out." And I watched it and I was like, "This is fine, but it's not good YouTube." So then I had drag queen syndrome. I turned around and went, "I can do better than that." You know, it's fine. Yeah, just I am a creative person first, and Lego fits into being a creative person, and so does content creation. Like I have a record label, I play musical instruments, I am a graphic designer, I have a clothing brand, I make filters, there's so many, like I produce podcasts, there's so many, like, loads of creative things that I do. Content creation is just one of them, and it's a nice way that you can sort of start feeding in lots of different multi-mediums and things like that into it.
Yeah, there does seem to be a way of getting to know different bits of technology and platforms, and just learning how to make stuff that people like as well, or like at least not that that's the key driver, because I do like the idea of making, as long as you're happy with it, as long as I'm happy with what I'm doing, I'm not generally too fast. I've got a job, got a day job, so I don't need to worry about if anything brings money in. As nice as it would be, like I'm always going to be happy with a bit of money on the side, but yeah, it doesn't matter if no one likes it. The only thing that might get hurt is my feelings a little bit, but that's not.
Oh, your feelings are always going to get hurt, but you have to remember that no one actually cares that much.
Yes, yeah, exactly. This is it, and I think that's with social media, that's a thing that took me a while to get my head around. Like, no one really cares.
I said a mean comment, but they don't actually care.
yeah.
And all they're doing is actually helping you because they've commented. Do you know what comments are? Engagement. Engagement is cash money to the algorithm. Bring on the hate.
It's just trying to think. I had a thought and it's just disappeared. And
sorry, it happens to the best of us, Matt.
But that was
not to say it happens more with age, but it's fine.
That was my
you got pills for it now, right?
Gone. So comment here. Personally, I feel like I've almost given myself a hard go of feeling niche of proving that mums can do Lego and find the time to be creative while being mums.
100%.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and also too, going back to was the other one here, not being too hard on yourself was what you're doing, and I find much the same sort of thing. It's like you got job, you got kids, you got all the other sorts of things to do, and then have some enjoyment, and then somewhere down there is then content creation or YouTube or whatever it is that you're doing. So sometimes all those other things above it will take priority or fill out. So it's the sort of thing where you have to be realistic about it, and also not comparing it to the 24-year-old sitting in their parents' house doing content all day long, 7 days a week, sort of thing. Like, there's just a certain reality here, which comes in. And welcome along to Set to Build. I think we're...
Yo, Set, what's up?
Hope you're doing
Set is
well.
one of the founding members of the brick building community over on Twitch.
Ah,
cool.
okay, cool. Yeah, and having a bit of a chat about that. I think that was about half hour ago. So, I'm just saying there. And you really lose your identity when you first become a mum. Indescribable experience unless you've been through it. You're first and foremost a mum to people who once saw you as a person. Yeah, and that's the thing, particularly until you have this little thing, human, small person, which for the first 2 years of their lives basically are, utterly dependent, and you can't really put down and leave alone for like at all for the first little bit. So you can sort of get lost in that and identify.
I was watching a TikToker the other day, and they said when you have a newborn child, they have two motives in life. It's one, not to survive, and two, be your worst enemy. And you've just got to get through those first like 2 years before like they start being like, you know what, it's fine here. Actually, maybe I can do some other things.
No, before they become a three-nager and everything, the frustration because they don't know how to deal with emotions and everything. But yeah, that's a whole different kettle of fish. So I think we're starting to push up against the 3-hour mark. So I might just quickly go through what people have been building and what's coming up on socials and call it an evening here. So start off with One Brick Stud. How'd you get on with your builds? And what are you sort of coming up?
Beginning of the stream, it was a sealed set, and now it's finished, and it's so good.
You actually built something on a stream? What is this? What?
And this, oh my god, what a figure that is! It's insane. And then you get like some side builds, and you got the main play feature, which puts Sonic in this, and then you put your hand down on that and it fires.
Go on,
do it. Do it.
Right. Well, I haven't put Sonic in, but I'll just do that.
Yay!
There we go. That was fun. But and then also like goes with the mech as well. And it's recognizable. It's big. It's a girthy mech, I tell you. But
it does look like an egg on legs.
What's that?
It does look like an egg on legs, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's an egg bot. And
it's a better Hulkbuster than that 300-pound one. Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah,
I know my audience.
I can see the proportions wrong. I like that mech, but I can see that the Hulkbuster. I know the proportions are not right, but
I like it too.
Yeah.
You got way unnecessary hate.
yeah, absolutely.
And you realize,
I saw it built in a Lego store in Birmingham. I like it. But it's good, this Eggbot. I recognize it. It is one of the machines that Dr. Robotnik controls in one of the Sonic games, but I think it was in space, actually, one of the space sort of levels. But so I've got a bit of an attachment to this because of my days used to play Sonic on the Sega Mega Drive. So yeah, great build, and I can't wait to move on to the next Sonic set. Because I think I have a bit of a Sonic start to the year. I'm probably going to get the Tails set, and then obviously the new Knuckles one, and the one with Shadow in. So that's probably what's going to be my next builds. In terms of social media, just this Sunday, co-hosting on Fab Blondie's stream with Nicole, and of course Fab. So that's coming up, and on that stream, I'm going to be continuing to build Hogwarts Castle and Grounds. So only a couple of bags in, so I'll be building that pretty much throughout all the January streams over there, and exciting.
Brilliant, excellent. And just with that Robotnik mech there, I think if you just hold it up, if you punch his chest plate, then the back falls out, or is it you hit the back and the front?
Yeah, it's the other way around. So you push that, its stomach falls off.
So then you can release all the little dudes.
Is that on purpose or is that a design flaw? Are people just going around whacking Lego now?
Yeah, you get all these little creatures.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a new trend of people going around punching Lego sets to see what happens. Yeah, it's going to fall apart, mate.
Yeah. It's a good all-round build, and you get like little accessories as well. You get like a little robot, and I think it's £58 regular. But getting it on for £30, I think that's a winner. You get a lot there.
Yeah, for what it is, and because I remember building it, and the first part of it when you first put the chest in or whatever, the whole time it feels loose, and you're like, have I done something wrong? Like, what's going on? It's not until you get towards the end and you put the backpack in it and puts the pressure in to hold it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. I spent about 5 minutes thinking, now what have I done? But no, I've got it spot on. No,
it's got the technic holes. I've been defeated by holes.
Aren't we all?
There is I think I'm going to stick because there is that bigger one. There's that big version, isn't there, as well? But I probably won't be looking to get that. I think if I get the Tails Tornado again. The plane was actually in the original Sega Mega Drive games, and I think that'll be it really. And I don't think I need that big one as well. But I'll probably end up bricklinking the Amy Rose minifigure because I know she appears in that Tails set, but I've got no interest in that one. So that's it.
Yeah, I think. Wasn't she? Yeah, because I was in game the other day looking at it, and it's like it wasn't enough of a discount, and it's like, yeah, you got the other one in there. So, it seemed like it's only a relatively cheap set, but anyhow, yeah, cool. All right then, Jake Studs, what sort of you got coming up on your sort of socials and channels and things?
I'm plodding along, doing life, and looking fabulous. I'll be streaming this weekend. I don't really know what. I've got 2 more minifigures I need to make for here. I need to make Daft Punk looking minifigures for this. So that'll probably take me about 7 hours. And then obviously Tuesday, we've got the Tuesday raid train, choo choo, as trains go. I can't grab my train. There we go. Choo choo. It starts at 9 p.m. GMT, or whatever time zone we're in now. I don't really care. Starts 9 p.m. British time, mate. And then I kick that off, and it's 14 plus hours of continuous Lego content. I need the Monkey King Megaopolis for those minifigs. Okay, I'll look into that. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. And then I'm just making TikToks and making stuff over there, lip syncing to things, making trends Lego-y, and I'm gonna be making more Lego set filters. So if you have a Lego set you want a filter for, let me know, because I wanna try and find some challenges to do, get some to try and start beef with other Lego designers.
Yeah, I was just sort of, as you were saying that, it's like, what sets could you do for that? And it's like, well, if you wanted to annoy people, you could do the grey Star Wars puddle, that Obi-Wan one, which was massively overpriced, but it's like you might want sets which people might actually either have or want to buy and use the filter on. Sort of maybe the Spider-Man final battle, that Statue of Liberty had. With all the
what filter would you want for that though?
Make it green.
DC.
Okay,
DC stuff on it.
I know what
Superman.
You could create a background where all the skies are ripping open and all the villains are starting to show.
That's fun.
And then,
Although I do like all these sort of thing where if you get the cross brand there, so it's Marvel, so you just have a whole bunch of DC characters.
Have Batman appear from behind it.
Yeah. or Superman or something like that. So brilliant. All right then. No, it's great to see that, and thoroughly enjoyed the conversations that we've had tonight, and brilliant that we've had you on.
Thank you very much for having me on. I've had a lovely time.
Excellent. That's fantastic to hear. And Bricks Gear, now that you've got your own live stream happening, what's coming up on your socials?
Coming up on socials, what am I doing? Saturday, I'm on Greg London Bridge Bricks members stream with Gaz. And then, yeah, see what happens. 2 weeks until the next stream for Mockheads. And otherwise just seeing what comes of life and Lego. And then this is what I've built, if it doesn't fall apart. You might have heard me clacking away. I didn't realise it was right next to the mic.
That's the hidden side cemetery. So excellent. Yeah, no, it's looks like it's a great one there. And yeah, definitely your Mockheads in not next Wednesday, the Wednesday after at 8 o'clock UK kickoff time.
Yes, indeed. 24th of January, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Yeah, and we've got Alberto Sky Guy 365, an amazing mocker who recently built a feed from Star Wars. On Naboo, is it? A city on Naboo?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's amazing. Like Lego set levels of standard.
Yeah, because once you said that on the stream last night, I went and checked him out. And yeah, because when they're saying Theed, it's like, what's Theed? What's Theed? And then, it's the main Naboo from episode 1. And it's phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think, if you go to his channel, there's like 20 odd videos on it because it's crazy good.
Yeah, and he's amazing otherwise. Like, he did a botanical gardens in Lego Ideas, and then the Friend set came out, and it was basically the same thing, but his was better.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Brilliant. Yeah, no, that was a congratulations on that first stream. That was brilliant.
Thank you.
Learned so much out of it. And there was actually the Brickbods made a comment and about Bricklink, about something which I didn't know, that if you've got a wish list and you start buying off that, usually in the past what I've done is when I've had that order, I've manually gone back into the wish list and started editing it down. There's actually a button there, apply order, so you can click on that and take the order and get it off there. And it's like,
No, I've got various wish lists that I've set up, and they're an absolute mess because I want these 2 bits, but I don't want to go to different sellers. So yeah.
Okay, brilliant, excellent. All right then. And Madlib, how'd you get on with your Nem was thrown, I think, you're building? And
so this is Shuri's little underwater sub piece. Do have to say that when you got the fig in there, she is full on face planting that control panel. So but yeah, so there's that bit, and then the actual throne. It's quite a nice little throne actually. It's a nice little build. So there he is on his throne, and then you push the back, and then this little gold coin shoots out the front.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do like the jaw. I think that's quite cool. Yeah, and then you've got a tumor as well as the final fig, which I think is quite a cool fig.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that does look pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's the build. Yeah, it's all right. And as I say, I got it on sale, so not complaining. And then socials. I'm doing a cameo. I'm in a cameo on London Calling tomorrow. And then Saturday, I'm thinking I'm probably going to try my first multi-stream, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to test it out, test the waters, as we say, and see how the Twitch, YouTube dual stream thing works. And that's probably around 1 o'clock ish. So yeah, I'm just got I haven't decided what set to build. I've got a couple of not very big sets. I don't want it to go too long in case it doesn't exactly go great. So yeah. And then obviously I'll be back on next Thursday, and we'll see what else comes up as it comes. So, yeah.
In the meantime, brilliant, excellent, yeah, and certainly when you're doing the dual streams and things like that, like I think tonight, I've had the most people on Twitch ever, so that's always nice to know. I think there might be a good reason for that. It's like, they're supporting one of their own, brilliant. So I appreciate that. Otherwise, it's kind of you get the Twitch report back, and it's like, there was one person, and they must have only watched it for that long. So, but it's always a good thing there. And previously saying Hidden Side and Trevor's videos. Going to say goodnight, brilliant stream. A catch up with what I've missed. Replay gang, take care, everyone. Thanks for joining in, Trevor. Hope that you have a good one and everything's going well with you. And just saying goodnight there, and set the bill. And Echo Bricks just making it very clear he's not here for Jake. Which I'm not sure that Jake was particularly impressed by that. So
I mean, I expect it more than anything.
So, but having said that, Jake, it's been fantastic having you on. Been great to sort of catch up and sort of get your take on things and some insights and everything with the different types of streaming and content. And we even managed to play Jake Bingo and get his pet peeves out for some of the things there as well. Brilliant with that. So usual sort of social media things, hit the share, like, subscribe, replay gang. Always appreciate you guys. Leave a comment, I'll give you a shout out next time around. We don't actually have any poll because I didn't quite get to that. And in the chat, it's great to see everyone being active in there. There's a few people, Mayo, Brick Stage Chaos, Jake Studs, Fooling with Bricks, Cabbage TV, Bongo, Bonnie's Bricks, London Bridge Bricks, Bert's Builds, Delicious Foods, Mini Faked Who, Simon, Benji, Two Humble Bricks, and Andy Bricks, Echo Bricks, and Two Gay AFOLs. Also brilliant to see you guys. And then Set to Build as well. Just saw that there. And some others. Just trying to think if that's got most things there. Again, appreciate everyone who's been along and everyone who's had in the chat with that. And also as well, before we get out of here, is there anything anybody else wants to say that they didn't say or plug or?
Subscribe to Matt Elder. That's what I'm saying. Give a like if you like. And maybe one day he'll figure out the one button he needs to click to turn on memberships.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say to end the stream or something.
that too.
Yeah. But I mean, sort of an aside, the other guys will probably remember this. About 2 weeks ago, I started the stream and forgot to hit the start stream, so I went through about the first 5 minutes, and then it's like, oh, okay, then no, you need to go back and do that again. So the quality of things around here. So with that, all right then, guys. Thanks to everyone on the panel. Check out the details below. Jake Studs over on Twitch, being brilliant, and we will see you all again next week. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Good night.
Mr. Biblia Super Duper!
See ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.